From Doran Park in Bourne, Massachusetts, this is Braves Baseball alongside Jordan Palacio. I'm Sam Wiederhaft. Jordan, a little bit of a delay, but we should be starting rather shortly. The Braves grabbed a win last night at White House Field against the Harwich Mariners in a pitchers-dominated 2-1 score. Jordan, it looked like the Braves of the first half last night.
Yeah, it did, especially with that pitching performance from Ryan Cusick. He goes 6 2/3, only giving up 3 hits, striking out 7. He did give up the lone run of the game. However, Nick Iverson came in. He went 1 1/3 strong, only giving up those 2 hits. And Kieran Shaw, the new closer, it seems, out of the Braves bullpen, came in the ninth inning. 1-2-3, easy as you like. And the Braves, for only the second time in the season, picked up a win when scoring 2 runs.
And for the third time in 8 days, the Braves face off against a familiar face in the Cotuit Kettleers. And Jordan, while Bourne knows a lot about this team, they just can't seem to get the edge against Cotuit this season.
And I think that's because, Sam, they hit the ball extremely well. When you look at the Cotuit lineup, second in the league in terms of runs scored, sitting at 157, only second to the Wareham Gaiman, who currently sit atop the West Division by 2 points. Cotuit, when you look at them, you have guys like Nick Gonzalez, you have Casey Schmidt, you have Mason McWhorter, Christian Robinson. I mean, this lineup is stacked from the number 1 spot all the way down to the number 9 spot. So when you have guys like that who are always up and nobody's an easy out, it's tough to pitch against.
Now on the mound for the Braves tonight, Mac Lardner and the newly named All-Stars coming off a dominant performance just 1 week ago.
Yeah, and he missed out on the Pitcher of the Week nod from the Cape Cod Baseball League, but I'm not sure how because he pitched 7 innings, only giving up 2 hits. He struck out 8 in that game against Falmouth back on July 8th. It was a 14-0 win. And in that game, Sam, Lardner retired 18 batters in a row. 18. I'm saying that correct. That's 6 innings worth of batters that he's sent down all in a row. And like I've been saying the entire time, Sam, there's a certain element of randomness to that as well, because we could play that game 100 times again, and that's not going to happen the other 100 times. That's just how good Mac Lardner was last week.
The Braves are hoping for a similar start from Mac Lardner tonight. It's a Monday night, mid-July baseball game at Doran Park. Lineups and first pitch are coming up next between the Bourne Braves and the Cotuit Kettleers. This game starting rather shortly. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on YouTube. And folks, thanks for tuning into the Bourne Braves YouTube channel for tonight's game between the Braves and the Cotuit Kettleers. Still in the middle of a delay. This game was supposed to start at 6 o'clock, then was bumped back to 6:40, and now it's 6:50, and we are still waiting here at Doran Park. It's due to circumstances out of the Braves' control that this game is under a delay. So we will have action soon, but Joran, just not now. We're still waiting on it.
Yeah, there's a couple of crucial individuals, we'll say, that are currently missing from the picture right now. I mean, that's what we'll leave it at. A couple of people to really impart rules onto the game that are not here right now. So that's where we are right now. This game is supposed to start about an hour ago. It's 6:50 local time here at Doran Park, and we're approaching 7 o'clock. And thank goodness the Braves have lights, Sam.
Well, you know what? I tell you who this is a break for. This is a break for any player playing right field, because now the sun is going to be totally set for this game. It's going to be in nobody's eyes, because we know that sun over in shining behind the high school gets in the way of the right fielders. It's gone now, so that's a plus.
Yeah, that is a plus. So that'll make it easier on the right fielders. And coming down the aisleway here at Doran Park, I see a couple of people wearing blue shirts. So it looks like we'll be starting here in any minute.
That's usually the signifier for the people that we're missing.
Yes. Yeah.
Blue shirts.
You know, we think we have a responsibility to inform everyone why it is we are in a delay right now. And it would appear there's a scheduling conflict of some sort between the league and perhaps the teams. I'm not really sure. The umpires were called in. They're only going to be a two-man crew tonight because of whatever conflict caused the situation we're in. So the umpires for today's game is Pat Burns and Tom Carey. Normally a three-man crew, as the crowd here at Doran applaud the arriving umpires.
They're finally here. They will get themselves situated on the field. The Braves about ready to take infield, and there they go. Let's run through the starting lineup for the Cotuit Kettleers. Leading off is Nick Gonzalez, the second baseman. Casey Schmidt is at third. He's in the 2 spot today. Parker Chambers, the left fielder, in the 3. Mason McWhorter, the first baseman. He's clean up. Christian Robinson in right. Dante Williams in center field. Cody Pasek is the catcher. He's in the 7 spot. Joey Loper-Fido is in the 8. He'll be the designated hitter for the Kettleers today. And Adam Oviedo will be rounding it out. He's playing shortstop for the Cotuit Kettleers. And on the mound, we talked about him in the open, Jorn. It's Mac Lardner.
Yeah, Lardner, who is an all-star pitcher for this Braves team, 2-1 on the year with an ERA of sub-1, 0.81 on the year for Lardner, making his 5th start tonight. He's thrown 22 innings in those 4 starts, 17 strikeouts, and he's only walked 1 person. He last threw, like we said, Sam, against Falmouth, and that 14-0 win. He's won 2 straight. And that win against the Commodores, he threw 7 innings, not giving up any runs, only giving up 2 hits, striking out 8, and retiring 18 hitters in a row. He's going up against a very talented, very dangerous Cotuit lineup here today.
The Braves come in with an 11-win, 16-loss record after breaking their short losing streak with a win against Harwich last night at White House Field in a game that seemed to be over in the snap of a finger. 2-hour, about 20-minute game, 2-1 win for the Braves, all on one swing by Kyle Hess in the 2nd inning. He put a ball over the right field fence, and that was all the Braves needed on the offensive side to get the win. 2-1 there. They've improved to 11-16, 4th place in the West. They're still there, a 5-9 record in the Western Division, and their home record is 6-7. So looking to even that up to 500 tonight against Cotuit, who right now, 2nd place in the West, a dangerous lineup. Like we say, they have players like Nick Gonzalez, Casey Schmidt, Parker Chambers. 4 players on this team have 4 home runs.
Yeah, and like I said, it's a very dangerous lineup for this Kettleers team. We mentioned in the open, Sam, but the Kettleers scoring 157 runs so far this season, and that's through 29 games played. That's 2nd most in the league, only behind the Wareham Gatemen, who lead the West Division by 1 game or 2 points, depending on how you look at it. You have guys like Gonzalez, Schmidt, Chavers, McWhorter, Loper-Fido, even at the bottom of the order, Sam. It's a dangerous lineup, and there's not necessarily an easy out.
The Braves taking infield, an impromptu ground rules meeting happening on the third base side. The head coaches shake hands. For the Braves, it's Harvey Shapiro, and for the Kettleers, Mike Roberts. will manage the team tonight. And the Braves defensively, it'll be Jackson Greer behind the plate, Cade Beloso at first, Cody Morrison at second, Jimmy Glowenke at short, Xavier Warren, the third baseman today, Kyle Hess in left field, Judd Fabian in center, and Nick Bruiser in right field with Jared Poland DHing today. So Nick Gonzalez will step into the box, and this game is finally about to be underway.
That is going to be underway finally about an hour later, Sam. And get ready for some baseball. You sit here for a long time and you get ready to play some baseball. The Braves and the Kettleers going up against each other here in a Western Division matchup.
Nick Gonzalez, the rising junior out of New Mexico State University, a .337 average, and he has been tearing up the Cape Cod Baseball League this season. 33 hits, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 4 home runs. The first pitch he skies on the first base side going foul. He starts off 0-1, had a 79-game on-base streak, snapped the last time these two teams met up on July 7th. The last time they met up was July 9th. The July 7th game was the game that he got his on-base streak snapped. 0-1, he looks at a breaking ball from Mac Lardner, fall low, 1 ball and 1 strike. And Gonzalez had reached base not only in every Cape Cod Baseball League game to that point, but every game that he played for New Mexico State. He had gotten on base, and the first pitch he shoots to deep left field. Kyle Hess will watch that one sail out of here. It's a leadoff home run for Nick Gonzalez. Kettleers up 1-0.
Wow, he didn't need to get on base there. He will touch all of them as he rounds home. Sam, we were getting ready to talk about this place being a graveyard for baseballs. That is only, to my knowledge, the 4th home run that we have seen at Bourne Park. 2 of them belong to Jackson Greer, 1 to Xavier Warren. Greer hit his first home run as a member of the Harwich Mariners. Now the second away home run coming off the bat of Gonzalez, and that's a unlikely source, an unlucky run coming out of Mac Lardner.
After a 55-minute delay, Nick Gonzalez gets things started his way with a leadoff solo shot to left field. Now it's Casey Schmidt, watches an off-speed from Mac Lardner, high and outside, 1-0.
What is that? Yeah, what is that, Sam? The 3rd time we've seen a leadoff home run this season?
There's been many times, especially at Bourne Park, where it's been a leadoff home run. The 1-0 pitch is high and outside, 2-0 now to Casey Schmidt. Well, Nick Gonzalez now has the team-leading 5 home run number for the Kettleers. This man right here, Casey Schmidt, he has 4. The 2-0, that ball is taken to left field. Kyle Hess moving back. He's at the track. That's 2 in a row for the Kettleers. Nick Gonzalez homers, and Casey Schmidt says, hey, why not me too? And homers over the left field fence. Identical home runs, and the Kettleers have a quick 2-0 lead.
Wow, this is something that you would not expect to happen when Mac Lardner is on the mound. The first time we've seen back-to-back home runs in this season in any Bourne Braves game, and it comes off the bat of Gonzalez and Schmidt. And on 2 swings of the bat, the Kettleers already now with a 2-0 lead.
The Kettleers were anxious to get this game started as Nick Gonzalez and Casey Schmidt both homer to start this game, and now it's Parker Chavers. First pitch is a fastball high and tight. 1 ball, no strike count to him. It doesn't get much easier. He has 4 home runs on the year as well. The 1-0 is a fastball down the middle for a called strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Parker Chavers, who's playing left today. This Kettleers team leads the entire league in team home runs. The 1-1 bounces in the dirt, 2-1 now.
Wow. Well, if you were wondering if that delay maybe had something to do with Mac Lardner, I think it's extremely uncharacteristic that he'd give up back-to-back jacks.
2-1 pitch is swung on and missed by Chambers. Evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. This is a team that leads the league with now 28 home runs. Next closest is Brewster with 24. 2-2. Chambers got him swinging. An off-speed pitch that fell in the dirt, and Mac Lardner, after suffering 2 big flies to left field, strikes out Parker Chambers.
Yeah, that's an important out to get. Chambers, who is dangerous up at the plate as well, but not an at-bat off in this lineup here, Sam, here with Mason McWhorter.
That's now 5 home runs here at Bourne Park for the Braves and any other opponent they face. First pitch to Mason McWhorter is grounded foul, first base side. He starts off 0-1. 3.08 average for him. 12 for 39 on the year, 4 doubles, has yet to hit a home run. He struck out 10 times, walked 5. This is his 12th game he's appearing in. The 0-1 is low on an off speed from Lardner. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Lardner here having to work in a situation where he's felt some pressure for the first time, I think, all year.
The 1-1 is drilled. That ball will fall in left field in front of Kyle Hess for a single. A 1-out single for Mason McWhorter. Make that now the 3rd hit already for the Kettleers. 2 home runs, and that time it's a single. And the Kettleers now have a runner on with Christian Robinson coming up.
And I think this delay is part of the story here in today's game. If Lardner goes out and throws, he doesn't have to wait an hour longer. His arm, after he warms up, is warm, ready to go for 6, and he's got to sit. He gets cold, and now serves up 2 home runs to 2 hitters, and now a 3rd base hit here with Mason McWhorter on first.
Here's Christian Robinson. Lardner comes set, fires the first pitch to him. It's a fastball down the pipe for a called strike 1. Two home runs already in this game. Christian Robinson, a rising junior from Stanford. Teammates with the Braves right fielder Nick Bruiser. He's playing right today. The 0-1 is a breaking ball falling low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Robinson on the year, .250 average. This will be his 15th game. 10 hits and 40 at-bats, 2 doubles. He's walked 3 times, struck out 8. 1-1. Fastball taken foul, left field side. Will fall into the seats, and Robinson now behind in the count, 1-2. Well, I think you're exactly right, Jordan. Lardner, we didn't really see him warming up from the time that the Braves had taken batting practice. The whole delay happened. He wasn't really doing much, and possibly could have come into this game a little cold and suffered those 2 home runs on the first few pitches of the game. Here's the 1-2 pitch on Robinson. It's outside on a fastball, 2-2.
I think that's exactly it. You prepare for a certain time. We know guys, especially like Jackson Greer, for example, are very routine, and pitchers themselves are extremely routine. They do not like to be budged or talked to at all in most cases on the day they start.
2-2 pitch is drilled to right field, just curving, foul. That pitch was taken to the skinny part in right field, right over the 300 sign. It just went foul, and that was almost the 3rd home run of the inning. Fell out very deep into the trees and right.
And that could have gone either way. That looked like one of those ones where it flies over the foul pole. So it's where does it cross over the foul pole?
Now the 2-2 to Robinson, a breaking ball that falls too far inside, and the count now runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Mac Lardner was so dominant the last time he pitched 1 week ago today against the Falmouth Commodores. Retired 18 straight batters. Here's the payoff. Outside, fastball called, ball 4. Now runners on first and second with just 1 out. Dante Williams coming up. Joran, the 2 home runs must have rattled Lardner up. How does he keep his focus out there right now?
He has to keep the ball low, I think. He's made 2 mistakes in the ball up in the zone to 2 very powerful hitters, and Gonzalez and Schmidt. Williams does not hit a lot for the Kettleers, only .213. Keep the ball at the knees, try and get himself a ground ball and get out of here. Stop the bleeding as soon as you can.
Runners on first and second. This is Dante Williams. 1 out in the inning. First pitch is a fastball grounded over to second. Cody Morissette gloves it. Throw to second is in time. Throw to first. They get the double play. A bang play. Dante Williams doesn't like the call, but the Braves get out of the inning. It's an early 2 runs off of 2 home runs. One by Nick Gonzalez to lead this game off, and followed by another solo shot by Casey Schmidt. Has the Kettleers up 2. We'll head to the bottom half of the first. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The Braves already down 2-0 after back-to-back solo shots to begin this game for the Kettleers. Now let's look at how the Braves line up to start this game. Cody Morissette leads it off for the second straight game, playing second. Xavier Warren in the 2 spot, playing third. Cade Beloso takes over the 3. He's the first baseman today. Jackson Greer in the cleanup catching. Judd Fabian in center field, followed by Jimmy Glowenke, Jared Poland, who's the DH. Nick Bruiser in right, and to round it out, Kyle Hess in left field, who homered in yesterday's ball game. The only 2 runs across the plate for the Braves was Kyle Hess's 2-run big fly to right field. And on the mound for the Kettleers, it's Chris Holcomb.
Yeah, Holcomb on the season, a 1-0 record, just a 1.38 ERA. He's thrown 7 games. He's making his second start of the season here tonight, and the last time he threw was actually against the Bravos. It was back on July 9th, where he pitched 2 innings in that game. He only gave up 3 hits, no earned runs, and the Braves going up against another left-handed here, lefty, excuse me. Now they're already fighting from the hole. This is something we're not used to seeing, Sam, them having to climb from behind in the first inning.
Already a deficit to fight back from. Cody Morissette will lead things off for Bourne. Morissette coming into this game. He's batting .286, 18 for 63 on the year, 11 RBIs. Struck out 16 times and walked 10. The future All-Star will be playing in the All-Star game at Eldridge Park this upcoming Sunday. The first pitch, he grounds over to second. Nick Gonzalez is there, gloves it, fires to first, and Cody Morissette is retired on 1 pitch.
And we know the Braves struggle to score runs, and already in the very early parts of this game here, still a long way to go. Don't have to panic too much, just need to start putting together some hits, but problem is that's something they struggled to do in yesterday's game and against this Cotuit team.
Now it's Xavier Warren. .275 average for the Braves starting third baseman. The first pitch is a fastball outside. 1 ball, no strike count. 2 home runs for him, 16 RBIs. That's 12th in the league. It leads the team. 19 strikeouts. Here's the 1-0. A fastball inside, called a strike. And Xavier Warren now has a 1 ball, 1 strike count. Last night he went 0 for 3 against Harwich, 1 strikeout. Here's the 1-1. That one bounces and hits him. Holcomb making a mistake. It slips right off the fingers and bounces just about in the grass on the infield and comes up and hits Warren. That is the 4th time this year Xavier Warren's been hit by a pitch, and the Braves have a base runner.
Yeah, they'll take it. They'll absolutely take it. Holcomb, something went wrong there. Something had to. If that ball, Sam, it actually did. It hit the grass. It bounced out of the grass, and then it's Warren in the midsection, maybe perhaps on the hip as well. A bizarre way to get your first base runner, but now Cade Beloso here with 1 swing of the bat could tie us up.
Beloso comes up with Xavier Warren at first right now. Here's the first pitch, and Holcomb throws back to first. Xavier Warren back in time. Beloso, a rising sophomore from LSU, had an 0 for 4 game against the Harwich Mariners with 1 strikeout. Even .300 average for him coming into tonight's ball game. The first pitch is off speed and just hits the outside part of the zone for a called strike 1 on Beloso. He started this season reaching base in his first 13 games, but recently he's just been 2 for 12 on the hitting side. Here's the 0-1 from the lefty, a curveball right in the zone for strike 2. Beloso hasn't swung the bat yet.
Oh, yeah, that was a nasty pitch there, too, from Holcomb on the mound. Broke real late in the delivery of that pitch right of the zone, and now he's got Beloso right where he wants him.
0-2. Another breaking ball just upstairs. Called a ball. Holcomb is really working that breaking ball, and Beloso doesn't offer there. Takes the pitch too high. 1-2. 1 out. Xavier Warren on first. 2-0 lead for the Kettleers off back-to-back home runs to lead this game off against Mac Lardner. Throw back to first. Xavier Warren walks back to the bag. The only game that Chris Holcomb has started this year was a 9-9 tie against the YD Red Sox on June 16th. This is his first start in, just a month. Almost a month anniversary since his last start. 1-2. A breaking ball outside. Xavier Warren's running. It bounced in the dirt. There's no throw from Cotuit, the catcher. So Xavier Warren takes second on a ball that bounced in the dirt. It's a 2-2 count on Beloso.
Yeah, good read there from Xavier Warren. He takes second base. Nice read. By the time Cotuit was able to track down where the ball was at, Warren was already pretty much at the bag. Now a base hit brings him in here from Cody Beloso.
Beloso in the box. Holcomb comes off the mound, turns back towards second. A 2-2 count on him. Beloso has walked 11 times, only struck out 12. One of the better ratios you'll see in the Cape Cod Baseball League, a league that is very pitcher heavy. 2-2 from the lefty. A breaking ball got Beloso swinging. First strikeout of the night for Chris Holcomb almost certainly won't be the last. Beloso goes down on a beautiful breaking ball.
And I think Beloso only saw one fastball there from Holcomb. And it was the one that was in the dirt. Very off-speed heavy. Now here comes Jackson Greer. And we were talking to him pregame, Sam. He said he likes going up against lefties. He thinks he hits them pretty well, especially someone who's throwing a lot of off-speed like Holcomb is right now.
Jackson Greer, a 244 average, the future All-Star, was named to the team just a few days ago. First pitch he sees from Holcomb is a fastball outside. He watches it. Greer went 0 for 3 last night, got hit by a pitch against the Mariners. 10 for 41 on the year. We mentioned only 5 home runs now hit in this ballpark, 2 of them coming earlier today, and 2 from Jackson Greer. 1 when he was a member of the Harwich Mariners, and 1 just a week ago on Monday. The 1-0 pitch is looked at for strike 1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Hit a grand slam against Falmouth. So he accounts for 2 home runs. Cotuit accounts for 2 home runs, and the other one coming from Xavier Warren. Holcomb comes set, stares a second, now fires the 1-1 breaking ball. Greer flies it a little blooper over on the right field side, right by the line. That just goes foul. That ball almost hit the line over in shallow right field, but it just curves at the last second. It's a 1-2 count on Greer.
Yeah, and this is part of the disadvantages of having this crew out on the field right now. Instead of having 3 guys, home plate umpire Pat Burns has to make the call from behind the plate, and that one was so close, Sam. That one was about maybe 4 to 5 inches away from hitting the chalk and making the chalk puff up. Now Greer has to go and probably see another off-speed pitch here from Holcomb, down 1-2.
And Greer loves doubles. 5 doubles on the year. That leads the team. 8 RBIs for him. Xavier Warren still at second with 2 outs. Here's the 1-2. A fastball called, strike 3. Xavier Warren gets on, and the Braves can't bring him home. It's no runs, no hits for the Braves. 2 strikeouts for Chris Holcomb on the mound. Still a 2-0 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers. We head to the second inning. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Top of the second inning, Cotuit leads 2-0 off 3 hits, 2 of them being home runs from Nick Gonzalez and Casey Schmidt. Cody Pasek will lead it off for the Kettleers in this top half of the second. Pasek a 279 average, 12 for 43, scored 7 runs, 5 RBIs, 12 walks, 8 strikeouts. He's actually a native of Cotuit, playing for his hometown team. Goes to the University of Maine, Orono. First pitch is high and tight from Mac Lardner, 1-0. Lardner got shaken up in that first inning. Now delivers the 1-0. Fastball just off the bat. Pasek and going foul. A check swing makes this a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Yeah, and it's important for Lardner to try and have a quick inning here. Obviously, you want to work 1, 2, 3, but I think it's big for his confidence. He got knocked around for the first time all season long in that top half of the inning.
Here's the 1-1. It's off speed and falls low and inside. Now a 2-ball and 1-strike count. Mac Lardner, one of the 6 Braves to make the All-Star team, one of the 3 pitchers. Him and Harrison Murkowski being the only starters. 2-1 is flied high into shallow center field. Jimmy Glowacki is called off by Cody Morissette right at the edge of the grass. Morissette will put him away for the first out of the inning, and a much easier start of this inning than last inning for Mac Lardner on the mound.
Yeah, definitely so. I think he'll take this every single day of the week. However, Joey Loperfido now comes in, and you don't want to go back up to that top of the order this inning. I think if you're Lardner, try and work quick right now so you can put off that battle with Nick Gonzalez for the top of the third.
Loperfido, a rising sophomore from Duke, 238 average. The first pitch he sees is off speed and inside from Lardner, 1-0. The Braves, the only team in the Cape Cod Baseball League to not have any starters in the All-Star game. The 1-0 is a fastball high, 2-0. Rakowski and Lardner are both starting pitchers, but they'll be placed on the reserves. Braves will not have anybody running out on the field to start the ball game on Sunday at Eldridge Park. The 2-0 is a line drive into right field, a single for Joey Loperfido. He'll get on with 1 out.
Yeah, nice piece of hitting from him. Just found the hole past Morissette to his left, below, so nowhere near that one. But some of that all-star stuff that you're talking about, Sam, some of it just has to do with what position players got picked. You have a guy like Cody Morissette in the second base position who is going up against Nick Gonzalez, who coming into last week had a 79 reach bases streak. So the Braves more or less just unlucky in that respect.
Here's Adam Oviedo, 241 average for him. 19 hits on the year and 79 at-bats. The first pitch is a fastball that he fouls back to the backstop. Playing shortstop today, 3 home runs on his part, 15 RBIs. Walked 13 times, struck out 23. Joey Loperfido at first base. In the 6-6 tie last night against the Firebirds, he went 0 for 2. 1 walk in that game. On a 2 for 3 game, and the last time the Kettleers played Bourne. Throw back to first. Loperfido's back inside. 2 RBIs in that 5-0 victory for the Kettleers over the Braves. The last time this Cotuit team lost was July 9th, a 6-4 loss against the Braves. Here's the 0-1 from Lardner. It's a fastball that's flown into foul territory, first base side. And Oviedo's now down in the count, 0-2.
This is a great opportunity now for Lardner to work a ground ball and pitch. 0-2. Might go waste pitch here. You might see him work that fastball up. Lardner not a pitcher with a ton of velo, but really knows how to place his pitches. And we heard Quinn Stebbins say on Before the Braves earlier today on Facebook that it was all about a changeup. That's his best pitch, and I think this would be a great opportunity to work that in right now.
1 strikeout so far. The 0-2 is low. Off-speed pitch from Lardner. 1 ball and 2 strike count to Oviedo. Cotuit right now holds the second spot in the West, 33 points. Wareham, who's on top, has 35. Cotuit, however, 3 ties during their season so far. The 1-2 is a fastball called strike 3. It's the second strikeout for Mac Lardner.
Yeah, good pitch there from Lardner. Went fastball right at the knees, and he got Oviedo looking. Now, here we go, Sam. Nick Gonzalez coming back up to the plate.
Back to the top of the lineup in Nick Gonzalez, who homered on just the 3rd pitch of the ball game. Took a fastball from Lardner to left field for his 5th home run of the year. Before that, hadn't homered since July 6th against Chatham. He now has 5. That leads the team. Lardner comes set. Joey Loperfido is going. The pitch is a called strike. Throw down to second from Jackson Greer is not in time. Joey Loperfido has a stolen base.
And sometimes runners steal on catchers, and I think this time Loperfido stole on Mac Lardner. I think Lardner got very routine, and that's why Loperfido was able to take advantage of that. And he was going on the first movement. He knew that Lardner was going to shoot him a look. He took off as soon as that right foot moved in the air from Lardner, and there was nothing that Jackson Greer could do.
That's Loperfido's 11th stolen base of the season. The 0-1 is off speed, taken right to short, skips up into Glowenke's glove. He fires to first and gets Gonzalez. Cotuit leaves one runner on second, no runs on one hit. We head to the bottom half of the second inning. You're watching Braves baseball on YouTube. 2-0 lead for Cotuit. Bottom of the second inning, Judd Fabian, Jimmy Glowenke, Jared Poland due up for the Braves in this bottom half. A 2-0 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers. And Joran, the Braves are no stranger to close games. They've played now 16 games decided by 2 runs or less, but they need to get runs fast. Their record is only 2-11 when the Braves score 2 runs or less. And one of those wins coming last night.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. That win last night against Harwich, a 2-1 victory, only 3 hits in that one. And we've said in the pregame show, we said in the open that was a very first half of the season-esque performance from the Braves. Really strong pitching and virtually no offense. And you hope that the Braves don't slip back into their old ways in a couple games in a row here. They did last night. They hope to correct it here today, at least from the offensive standpoint.
Judd Fabian will lead this inning off, 266 average. He had a big game against Cotuit where he hit 2 home runs, 4 RBIs. And here's the first pitch from Chris Holcomb. It's a fastball that he lays off. It falls inside. 1-0. And for Judd Fabian, 3 home runs on the year. He leads the team. The 1-0 is taken to left field. We'll skip into left field to Parker Chavers. It's a leadoff single for Judd Fabian. That's only the second hit he's gotten since that 2 home run game on July 9th.
Yeah, and that's what you want to see out of Judd Fabian, who's, at least in the past couple of games, he's lost that leadoff spot, slipped down to the 5 hole, but he takes that 1-0 pitch right in between Oviedo and Schmitz, and now here comes the shortstop and Jimmy Glowenke.
Fabian gets on. The first hit of the game for the Braves. Glowenke, 241 average. Holcomb comes set, looks back at first, and will fire over. Fabian's back in time. Last night for Glowenke, he was 0 for 3, like so many Braves were. 1 walk and scored a run. Came around to score on the home run from Kyle Hess, who is rounding out the lineup today for the Braves. First pitch from Holcomb is a breaking ball just outside. Starts Glowenke off 1-0.
Yeah, and check this out, Sam. We're seeing our first major shift against a righty. Gonzalez playing just about behind second base, while Oviedo shifted way over into even perhaps normal playing position, not normal when you have a runner on.
1-0 is a fastball that's skied to straightaway center field. Dante Williams is under it. He'll make the play. A 2-pitch at bat. Glowenke goes down for the first out of the inning. And you're right, Gonzalez was playing straight up on the second base bag right behind it. Glowenke, a player known to pull things to the left, and Mike Roberts is a manager known to be a little fancy with his playing on defense.
Yeah, he's known as a kind of a baseball know-it-all. He's written 2 books on how to steal bases, so he definitely knows the game, and he's playing the same shift here against Jared Poland now.
Throw back to first. Fabian's back in time. Gonzalez playing close to second. Makes it easier to get a double play at least. And Poland on the year, 250 average for him, 6 for 24. Another throw over to first. Fabian's back. Poland's last game, he went 0 for 1 in a pinch hit appearance, a strikeout against the Wareham Gatemen. So he's getting his first start in quite a while. He's also pitched as well. He's pitched in 3 games with a high 9.81 ERA. Here's the first pitch from Holcomb. It's a fastball. Poland goes against the shift and skips into right field off the end of the bat. Judd Fabian goes to third. He'll slide in safely. It's a single for Jared Poland, and the Braves have runners on the corners. Not a ton of contact there from Jared Poland, but he hit it in the right place of the field.
Well, and because he hit it so slowly into right field, he beats the shift, and Fabian, what would have been if everyone's playing normally a double play, gets to advance to third. So Poland beats the shift. And I think it's very interesting because obviously the stats and the scouting is not as much as it is over on the pro side or even on the minor league scale. But I think it's so interesting to see that. But the Braves beat the shift and now in business here with a run 90 feet away.
And now it's Nick Bruiser coming up for his first at-bat. 243 average on his part. 1 RBI on the year. He can definitely extend to that with Judd Fabian 90 feet away. Poland's over at first. Holcomb comes set. Hands meet at the belt. Here's the first. No, he fires it over to first. Poland's back in time. Just 1 out in the inning. The Braves getting their first 2 hits of the ball game. Just 1 away from matching their hit total from last night. A very quick game at White House Field. The last time the Braves play the Harwich Mariners this season. The first pitch to Bruiser is a breaking ball low and inside. Catcher Cody Pasek wanted the call, but it's called a ball, 1-0.
And again, they're playing that same shift, so perhaps this is just a shift they have on when Holcomb's on the mound. Not a ton of velo, so perhaps they think the righty's more likely to pull the ball rather than push it.
1-0 is a fastball high and outside. Bruiser lays off, 2-0. Holcomb really works that breaking ball a ton. And we've seen in the first 1 1/3 innings. Gonzalez at second, McWhorter at first. Adam Oviedo's playing short. Casey Schmidt at third base. Cody Pasek, of course, behind the plate. Holcomb comes set, now fires the 2-0. Fastball outside, and Bruiser has a 3-0 lead.
Well, so everybody here at Dorton Parks knows that Bruiser is going to be taking on this pitch, no matter where it's at. Kyle Hess, the hero from last night's game with the 2-run home run, sitting on deck, might have the opportunity to do it with bases loaded.
3-0 is a fastball called, ball 4. It was a little high, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Nick Bruiser, and now the Braves have loaded the bases here in the bottom of the second. It's a 2-0 lead for the Cotuit Kettleers, but the Braves threatening in the bottom of the second inning, and Kyle Hess, the hero of last night's game, getting the 2-run home run, is now at the plate.
Yeah, he raised his average up to 233 on the year and has the opportunity to, at the very least, tie the game up here with a base hit with Jared Poland on second. The infield will come in on the infield grass, trying to get the out at home. So here we go.
Infield playing in. Nick Gonzalez, the second baseman, playing on the fringe. Adam Oviedo as well as Casey Schmidt at third. Only 1 out in the inning. Cotuit's looking for an inning-ending double play, and Kyle Hess, who went 1 for 4 with the 2-run homer last night. Holcomb comes set, checks back in second. Now the first pitch to Hess is a breaking ball outside for the 5th straight ball. It's 1-0.
And I think Hess here, it's unlikely we'll see him swing the bat until he gets thrown a strike because of Holcomb's inability to find the zone here the past 5 pitches.
1-0. A fastball right back up the middle for Kyle Hess. Judd Fabian comes around. In comes Jared Poland. He will slide into home base safely. It's a 2-run single for Kyle Hess, and the Braves even it up at 2.
Well, I stand corrected. He got his fastball right down the middle, and he took it right back up the middle, almost hitting Holcomb on the mound. And from giving up back-to-back bombs in the first inning, Kyle Hess evens up the game. What a tear he's been on. 4 RBIs in his last 2 games.
Right back up the middle. Solid contact for Kyle Hess. And after the Braves fall behind on 2 solo home runs to start out the game, they come right back in the bottom of the second, and Mike Roberts will call timeout and meet with his pitcher, Chris Holcomb, on the mound. There's nobody warming up in the Cotuit bullpen, and I actually don't really see anybody over there. There's a few people sitting on a bench, but Roberts will meet with Holcomb on the mound. It's still runners at first and second now. Bruiser got over to second. Of course, Hess at first. Back to the top of the lineup in Cody Morissette.
You still have to guard against the double play here for your Cody Morissette because not out of the woods yet. You still have that force at second base where you could turn to, but Mike Roberts taking his time. I'm not sure he knows that he only has 30 seconds for a plate meeting here. I feel like we've gone up to that spot now.
Well, and he's known to do things like this. Has done it many times against the Braves where he'll call a mound visit when the Braves get any sort of momentum, stalling the game. Home plate umpire Pat Burns will call time, will actually go out to the meeting on the mound and try and break this thing up. Roberts talking to his infield. Now they disperse back into the field. It will be Cody Morissette, who's 0 for 1, grounded out to his position at second base in his first at-bat. Morissette on the year, 11 RBIs. Has been on an absolute tear, will be an all-star. Was named to the roster earlier this week. He hasn't had an RBI since July 8th against Falmouth when he got 2. Now he's looking to break that streak with Bruiser at second, Kyle Hess at first. 4 hits for Cotuit, 3 for the Braves. Morissette steps in the box. Holcomb comes set and will step off the mound, turn towards second. The Braves are a team that only score about 3.5 runs per game. They've scored 95 total. That's second to last in the league. First pitch to Morissette. Off speed outside. He'll start off the Braves second baseman 1-0.
Well, and immediately now there's an arm warming up in the Cotuit bullpen out there. I think it's likely maybe at some point in this game we'll see Casey Schmidt pitch because why not? He's been doing that all year, especially against the Braves.
1-0 pitch is off speed outside. It's now a 2-ball, no strike count to Morissette, the Braves' leadoff hitter. Cotuit coming off a 6-6 tie last night against Orleans. Previously had a 3-game winning streak. 2-0. Fastball low, bounces in the dirt. Pasek stops it. It's a 3-0 count on Cody Morissette in the second 3-0 count of this inning.
So Morissette will watch this one. Xavier Warren on deck, who gets the bat from the right side of the plane. The Braves, an opportunity to really make some noise. They're showing a lot of fight. It would have been real easy to lie low after giving up the back-to-back home runs. Tied the game here and are threatening to take the lead.
Here's the 3-0 pitch. It's a fastball upstairs for a 4-pitch walk. Morissette gets on. The Braves load him up again. Chris Holcomb really struggling on the mound. That's his second 4-pitch walk of the inning. The first one coming to Nick Bruiser, who's now at third base. And now it's Xavier Warren, the team's RBI leader with 16. He's his first at bat gone on with a hit by pitch, so he's already reached base. Mike Roberts coming on the mound, and they will make a pitching change. Already in the middle of the bottom of the second inning, Chris Holcomb's night is done. He'll go 1 1/3. We'll take a quick break. The Braves have the bases loaded in the bottom of the second with 2 runs already home. 2-2 tie. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The Braves have already knocked the Cotuit Kettleers starter Chris Holcomb out of this game. They've loaded the bases for the second time in the bottom of the second inning, and now it's Richard Brereton who comes on in relief in the bottom of the second with only one out.
Yeah, Brereton out of Emory University, a clean record at 0-0, an ERA of 6.90. He's making his 8th appearance. He's got 2 saves on the game. He's thrown 14 in the 3rd innings. Last time he pitched was back on July 8th in the 11-5 win over Wareham. He pitched 3 innings. However, he gave up 4 runs, 3 of them earned. He's given up a run in every single appearance since June 19th. And while the runners on base do not belong to him, has the opportunity to give up even more runs here and relinquish that tie on the game that Cotuit has.
And it's the Braves' RBI leader, and Xavier Warren. The infield is in, bases loaded, only 1 out. 2 runs already across the plate in a 2 RBI single for Kyle Hess. First pitch is off speed and in the dirt. Cody Pasek saves it. 1 ball and no strike count to Xavier Warren. Reached base by getting hit by a pitch from Chris Holcomb in the first inning. 2-2 tie right now in the bottom of the second. Brereton comes set. Kicks and fires the 1-0 pitch. Fastball down the middle. Evens up the count. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And the defense playing up on the infield grass here again with bases loaded, trying to get the force out at home, and if possible, turn 2 going to home, and then the catcher Pasek then throwing to first base.
Warren has 2 home runs on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch to him. Got him swinging, and he now falls behind 1-2. In off speed, he was way out in front of. Would have been ball 2, but now he's behind. Infield playing right on the fringe of the grass. Here's the 1-2 from Brereton, off speed. Xavier Warren chops it back to the Kettleers dugout. Stays in the at-bat, 1-2.
Yeah, and Warren also known for something else. It's striking outs. He's up there with Judge Fabian at the top of the team. Warren in danger of striking out for the 20th time so far this season, and that's an unproductive out. You strike out, make it 2 outs, and everybody can go back and play normally.
Fabian leads the team with 20 strikeouts. He's 1 for 2 today. 1 for 1. Brereton comes set. Fires the 1-2. It's a fastball high. Xavier Warren lays off. It's now 2-2. That's a theme, Jordan, throughout the season. We've seen a 1-2 count, typically a fastball high from a lot of different pitchers. Brereton keeps the trend going. Now comes set. Kicks and fires the 2-2 pitch. Little chopper right back to him. He'll jump up, throws to Pasek, and they get the force out at home. So Nick Bruiser will be out. Xavier Warren reaches on first. The bases are still loaded, but a much-needed out for Brereton on the mound.
Yeah, he got exactly what he was looking for, a little chopper, and it was quite an athletic play from Brereton on the mound. He leaps up, makes the catch, and then has to make the throw home. And he does so, almost pulling Pasek off of the plate. And now everyone returns to their normal positions on the field, and it's up to Cade Beloso.
Beloso struck out swinging his first at-bat. He's 0 for 1. Just the 13th time he struck out this summer. A right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter matchup. 2 outs, bases loaded. The first pitch is a fastball right down the pipe for a called strike 1 on Beloso. He's in a little bit of a slump. 2 for his last 13 after reaching base in 13 straight games to start off his season. Here's the 0-1. Off-speed Beloso. High fly ball to left. Chavers moving back on it. He's under it and will make the play. The Braves leave the bases loaded, but 2 runs come across the plate to score in a 2 RBI single by Kyle Hess, and that'll even up the score. 2-2. We head to the 3rd. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Mac Lardner gets a little bit of help from his offense. The Braves tie it up 2-2. We enter the top half of the third. It's 2-3-4 due up for the Kettleers with Casey Schmidt leading it off, who also homered in that first inning.
Yeah, and we know Schmidt has been a thorn in the side of this Braves team for the entire year. He's made his presence known on the mound. He's thrown a few times against the Braves, made a couple great plays defensively at third base, and now today gets them with the bat with the home run back in the first inning.
He'll face Lardner for the second time. First pitch is a fastball right down the middle for strike one. Schmidt went 3 for 5 the last time the Kettleers met up with Bourne on July 13th. Had a double in that game. The 0-1 pitch is skied out in the infield. Xavier Warren calls everybody off at third base and makes the play just to the left side of the mound for the first out of the inning.
Yeah, that's an important out to get. It's no easier now with Parker Chavers coming up to the plate, but helps you settle into the inning. And Lardner now, after that rough first inning, looks like he's been able to find his rhythm up there on the mound.
Chavers, the rising junior from Coastal Carolina University, sees Lardner for the second time. The first pitch is off speed, just upstairs for a ball, 1-0. Chavers 0 for 1 with a strikeout swinging. 1 of 2 strikeouts for Mac Lardner. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball right in the zone for strike one, 1-1.
It looks like that'll be the go-to pitch tonight for Mac Lardner, is that breaking ball.
1-1, ground ball, first base side going foul. Chambers behind in the count, 1-2. It was 8 strikeouts for Lardner on the mound the last time he started a game just 1 week ago. A 14-0 win for the Braves. What was their best performance all year on both sides of the ball? The 1-2 is high and tight, almost hits Chavers. He ducks out of it. 2-2 now.
Yeah, so we saw that waste pitch fastball there on 1-2. Now we'll see him break it off in the breaking ball.
The 2-2 falls in the dirt just above or before the plate. It's now a 3-ball and 2-strike count to Chavers.
And it looked like off speed there, perhaps changeup that was bounced in the dirt. Now 3-2. We'll see what Lardner is the most confident in right now. I think it's going to be that breaking ball. Started off with 2 in a row against Chavers. Let's see what happens on this payoff.
Into the windup, now fires the payoff pitch. Breaking ball called, strike 3. 3 strikeouts so far for Mac Lardner, and it was that breaking ball again. Chavers doesn't even offer.
Yeah, he's got 3 strikeouts, and 2 of them come up against Parker Chavers, and he is feeling that breaking ball right now. That's the pitch he's got the most trust in, and why not throw it in the first pitch against Mason McWhorter?
It is a breaking ball, that first pitch, but it's inside and high. 1 ball and no strikes. McWhorter is 1 for 1. He singled and got to second in the first inning. 1-0. Ground ball over to first. Beloso moves to his right side. It skips up on his glove. Cody Morissette will still fire to first, but McWhorter is there in time. Beloso, just a bad hop. Bounced right before the glove. It hit him in the arm. That's why Cody Morissette got right behind him and fielded it. Still tried to make the play, but McWhorter gets on for the second time in this game.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how they score that. Beloso played that ground ball off to the side. He tried to time the pick as they rule it in air, so McWhorter will not get credit for the single. It'll be an error given to Beloso, but he played that ground ball off to the side. They call that the Ole type of, where you have the red carpet in front of the bull and use Ole, try and catch it to the side just like that.
Here's the first pitch to Christian Robinson. Off speed and outside, 1-0. Robinson walked in the first inning. This Braves team has the least amount of errors in the entire league. Beloso, that's his first error on the season. Lardner throws back to first. McWhorter's back in time. The middle infield of Morissette and Glowenke has been solid ever since Alika Williams left for Team USA. The 1-0 is fouled back to the backstop. It'll be a 1-1 count on Robinson now. Beloso has played 109 2/3 innings at first base. 1-1 fastball, low and outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. He came on a little later in the year. A.J. Curtis was the first baseman for the Braves in the first few games. ended up getting cut, was a rising senior out of Cal State Fullerton. 2-1. Fastball called on the outside part of the plate. Now it's 2-2.
Yeah, and that's just part of the business sometimes. Curtis signed a temporary contract at about $250 with the team. He was Mr. Consistent, played every single game up until the point where Beloso and Alec Burleson both showed up for the team. Burleson, of course, also leaving for Team USA.
2-2 pitch is drilled to right center field. Judd Fabian's moving in on it. He will make the play for the third out of the inning. So the Kettleers leave one runner on. They don't score anything. In the top of the third, still a 2-2 score. We head to the bottom half. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on YouTube. Jackson Greer will lead it off for the Braves in a 2-2 game. 2 runs in the top of the first for the Cotuit Kettleers on 2 home runs to open up the game, and Nick Gonzalez and Casey Schmidt. The Braves responded with 2 runs of their own on an RBI single. 2 RBI single by Kyle Hess with the bases loaded. That's his 4th RBI in just 2 games. And hit the 2-run homer in last night's game as well. That was all the Braves needed to win against Harwich. So now it's Jackson Greer, 0 for 1 with a strikeout looking. He'll face Richard Brereton for the first time, and the first pitch he sees is fouled off behind the backstop. Starts Greer off 0-1. The all-star catcher for the Braves. Wasn't named the starter, but will play at Eldridge Park this upcoming Sunday for the all-star game. Brereton in the windup. Kicks and fires the 0-1 pitch. It's a fastball low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And it'd be nice for the Braves to keep that momentum rolling here, scoring 2 in the bottom of the second inning. A lot of base runners in that inning as well. See if Jackson Greer can get something to hit here and start off the inning away.
Here's the 1-1 from Brereton. It's off speed. Jackson Greer way out in front on the swing. And he falls behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. For Greer, it's interesting. He takes summer classes while also playing for the Bourne Braves. Actually, when he's done here in Bourne, has to go to Nashville to work security for a couple concerts. The 1-2 pitch, he swings and misses for a strikeout. So he now moves to 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. But right when he's done, he has to go to Nashville, work security for 2 concerts, and then goes back to school at East Tennessee State. Has a good security guard frame to him.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
225.
Yeah, he's someone you could really see doing a security type gig. I mean, he's got the appearance of a linebacker with that kind of frame.
First pitch to Judd Fabian is off speed and low. 1 ball, no strike count. Fabian's 1 for 1, singled and came around to score in that 2-run second inning. Brereton in the windup. Fires the 1-0 pitch, and Fabian skies a ball to deep center field. Dante Williams is moving back in right center, and he will get under it, make the catch for the second out of the inning. Fabian goes down for the first time tonight. 2 outs.
Yeah, and that's one of those balls I think you can attribute to Doran being a graveyard. Just popped up sky high, did not get any carry onto it off the bat. It sounded like it'd go a lot further than into just the regular area of center field. But nope, that's all it goes to now. It's up to J-Glo here to try and get this inning started.
Glowenke 0 for 1 with a fly out to center in the second inning. Well, we thought Durham was a graveyard, but Cotuit led the game off with 2 back-to-back home runs. The first pitch is a fastball called, a strike on the outside part of the plate. Glowenke starts off 0-1. The Braves themselves have only hit 2 home runs at their home park, one from Jackson Greer, which was a grand slam a week ago, and one by Xavier Warren. 0-1 is fouled off. It's now an 0-2 count on Glowenke. I guess you can call it a graveyard because of how many broken bats we've seen.
We've seen the death of a lot of bats here. That is for sure.
I believe there was 5 in one game in the first doubleheader of the year. 0-2 is a short little ground ball over to short. Adam Oviedo makes the slide. The long throw will not be in time. Glowenke beats it out. So Brereton jams him. A slow-rolling ground ball to short. Adam Oviedo has to slide as it almost got through to left. Tried to make the play, but Glowenke is on with an infield single.
Yeah, slid with one knee did Oviedo over in the hole on the left side, and that's just an impossible play to make in time. It would have taken almost a 100-mile-an-hour fastball from Oviedo over at short to get Glowenke. He beats it out by a couple of steps, and now Jared Poland now just left to follow suit.
Poland is 1 for 1, a single, and came around to score in the second. Brereton throws back to first. Glowenke's back in time. Glowenke has made some base running mistakes this year. Seems to have that all patched up. Brereton gives him a look. He takes about a 2-step lead off first. The first pitch to Jared Poland is right off the middle of the bat. Little fly out over to right field. It's put away by Nick Gonzalez, the second baseman, who moves into shallow right to make the play. So the Braves get 1 hit off the bat of Jimmy Glowenke. No runs. A 2-2 game. We head to the top of the 4th. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on YouTube. Approaching the top of the 4th inning, 2-2 game between the Kettleers and the Braves. How about real quick, Jordan, let's get a little score update.
Yeah, going around the Cape here, today is a makeup game for a lot of these teams. That's why we only have 4 games. YD has already beat Harwich 5-4, a final in that one. And then going around the Cape, Falmouth with a 1-0 lead over the Harbor Hawks, and then Chatham with a 1-0 lead over the Brewster Whitecaps.
Here's the first pitch to Dante Williams. He lays down a bunt right back to Mac Lardner. He tosses over to first, and Dante Williams is retired. He has speed and made that a play over at first. But Mac Lardner, who just had to move a few steps to his left side, puts him away. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Yeah, it was a wise choice by Williams to bunt the ball to Lardner's left. His body carried him to his right toward the third base side of the diamond, the bunt going toward the first base side, and just a little too close to Lardner there. If he was able to drag that a little closer to the line, it is likely he probably would have gotten on.
Here's now Cody Pasek. Watches ball 1 fall in the dirt. Pasek is 0 for 1 with a fly out to Cody Morris at second in the second inning. Lardner in the windup, kicks and fires the 1-1 as a fastball down the middle for a strike, 1-1. YD now has a 2-game winning streak. That's the team the Braves are playing tomorrow at Red Wilson Field. The 1-1 is off speed and inside, 2-1. Taking down the Harwich Mariners, who the Braves just beat yesterday. A home-and-home series coming up with the Red Sox. Tomorrow at 5, and then Wednesday at 6 here at Doran Park. The 2-1 pitch on the outside corner is called strike 2. It's an even count, 2 balls and 2 strikes to the catcher for the Kettleers, Cotuit Pasek.
Yeah, it's a great pitch there from Lardner. Really painted the black on the outside corner. And now 2-2. I think we're going to see the hammer, the breaking ball here from Lardner.
2-2. Just fouled off the bat of Pasek. It was a high fastball. He stays in the at-bat, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Interesting by Lardner. So he goes fastball on the 2-2 pitch, the fastball waste pitch, unless he missed his spot there from Jackson Greer. It's unlikely he's going to go fastball 2 in a row.
2-2. Pasek fastball ground all over to short. Glowenke fields it, takes a few steps, throws to first, and retires. Cotuit Pasek on the ground out. 2 quick outs for the Braves.
And Lardner's recovered well after giving up the back-to-back home runs in the first 2 batters of the game. 2 quick ground outs here in the 4th inning, and no real trouble after that. Here going up against Joey Loperfido, an opportunity for his first 1-2-3 inning of the game.
Loperfido's 1 for 1. Singled in the 2nd inning and got his 11th stolen base of the season. That's as far as he could get as Lardner retired the next 2 batters. He's in the windup, fires the first pitch. It's a fastball low. 1 ball and no strikes to the DH today for the Kettleers. Last time he played was against Bourne. He went 1 for 5, scored a run, and got a double. 1-0 is high and tight, 2 balls and no strikes. 2 outs, nobody on, 2-2 is the score right now between the Kettleers and the Braves. Lardner in the windup. Here's the 2-0 pitch. Ground ball over to second. Morissette moving to his left side. Gloves it, fires to first. It's a 1-2-3 inning for Mac Lardner on the mound as the Kettleers go down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Still a 2-2 ball game. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Cape Cod Healthcare is the leading provider of healthcare services for residents and visitors of Cape Cod with 2 acute care hospitals and more than 450 physicians. For more information, please visit capecodhealth.org. Cape Cod Healthcare, expert physicians, quality hospitals, superior care. All tied up at 2. Now in the bottom of the 4th inning, it'll be 8-9-1 due up for the Braves in Nick Bruiser, Kyle Hess, and then back to the top in Cody Morissette. 2 runs in the top of the 1st for the Kettleers on 2 home runs, and 2 runs in the bottom of the 2nd on 1 RBI, 2 RBI single by Kyle Hess. Has this game where we're at right now in a game that was supposed to start at 6 o'clock, ended up starting around 6:50. A delay in the beginning of the game, but everything seems to be rolling right now. Richard Brereton still on the mound, kicks and fires the first pitch to Nick Bruiser. It's off speed and slides right in the strike zone for strike 1. Bruiser walked in the 2nd inning, came around to score on the hit from Kyle Hess. 0-1. Fastball, Bruiser fouls it off first base side, going toward the seats. He's now down 0-2.
And how about the game so far from Richard Brereton? Coming in with a 6.9 ERA, had bases loaded, only 1 out, and he was able to get out of the inning with not giving up a run. He got a force out at home, then forced a fly out. He's really settled into this game himself.
Here's the 0-2 to Bruiser. Off speed, bouncing in the dirt and outside. Cotuit Pasek has to move out of his way to get it. 1 ball and 2 strike count now to the Braves right fielder. The Braves this season only have a little over 3.5 runs allowed per game. Have allowed 101 total. That's good for 2nd in the league. 1-2 off speed inside. Called a ball. 2-2. Bourne has had 16 games decided by 2 runs or less. They're 6-10. When a game is that close, the 2-2 is a fastball. Bruiser fouls it off. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. You flip that 6-10 around, and this is a completely different season for the Braves, who right now stand at 4th place in the Western Division. Hyannis right now down in their game. The Braves' magic number is 24. 2-2. Inside, fastball, called a ball, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Nick Bruiser.
And that magic number is accounting for the point system. So while a normal magic number, if you win, you would go down 1. In this league, if you win, you would go down 2 points on that magic number. So if the Braves win 6 in a row, Hyannis lose 6 in a row, it could be over.
Payoff, Bruiser takes it to deep center field. Williams, it gets over his head. Bruiser is making the turnaround first. He'll go to second. He won't stop there. Bruiser keeps chugging on to third. He slides in safely. It's a leadoff triple for Nick Bruiser.
How about the power from Nick Bruiser, taking it over the head of Dante Williams, dead center field. And it looked like Williams perhaps had a late read on that play. Didn't start moving until very late. And then the relay throw, I'm not sure where exactly Williams was aiming. He overshot his cutoff man, both of them, by some distance. That ball landing in the baseline from second to third, way off target and way too much power. The Braves in business now.
And now Kyle Hess comes up with another opportunity to get an RBI. Already has 2 with a single in the second inning. First pitch is a check swing at a ball in the dirt. He gets called for the swinging strike. Falls behind 0-1, infield in yet again. The Braves have already loaded up the bases twice against the Kettleers, both in the second inning. Infielders playing on the fringe of the dirt and the grass. Bruiser's over at third, a leadoff triple, just the 4th triple for the Braves this season. 0-1 is swung on and missed by Kyle Hess. He's down in the count 0-2.
And a strikeout here would just be killer for the Braves. To have a triple and to go down possibly on 3 pitches as well would just be a huge momentum stopper and a very unproductive out. Anything hit on the ground will probably get Hess in.
0-2 is lifted high to center field. Williams is moving in on it. Bruiser will not tag up. It's caught by Williams for the first out of the inning, and Bruiser stays over at third. That ball just not deep enough to get Bruiser to tag up at third base. First out of the inning, Kyle Hess goes down.
So it's an important out. You have to start somewhere if you're Brereton on the mound, and now Cody Morissette coming into this at-bat, looking for his first hit of tonight's ball game, and he could do it. Anything hardly hit on the ground, more than likely going to be getting past his infield.
Morissette coming up for his third at-bat. He's 0 for 1, walked in the second inning, grounded out in the first. Has actually one of the only 4 triples for the Braves. A.J. Curtis has one, who's not with the team anymore, and Jake McKenzie as well also has a 3-bagger. First pitch is off speed and outside to Cody Morris. That starts him off 1-0. Bruiser at third. Has scored 4 runs this year for the Braves. Brereton comes set. 1-0 to Morris. It's a fastball foul back to the backstop. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Morissette on the year, 11 RBIs. The future all-star for the Braves. Hasn't gone an RBI since July 8th against Falmouth. 1-1. High fly ball going foul on the third base side. Will land at the high school. Morissette falls behind. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, that was when he was on a streak of really piling in the RBIs. I would believe he had an 7 or 8 game RBI streak. That's not something you hear a lot of, but has the opportunity to restart a streak right here.
Brereton comes set. Kicks and fires the 1-2. It's off speed and off the bat of Cody Morissette into the glove of catcher Cody Pasek. Morissette goes down for the second out of the inning, and now it's up to Xavier Warren to try and knock Bruiser in.
That would be such a big momentum boost for the for the Kettleers in this game. If Xavier Warren were to get out here without knocking in the run. Everybody doesn't have to be on the infield grass anymore. They can all back up and have a runner on third and strand him. That would be a big turning point, I think.
First pitch to Xavier Warren is a high fastball that he goes after. Starts off Warren with an 0-1 count. Warren's 0 for 1, reached base on a fielder's choice and was hit by a pitch in the first inning. 0-1 pitch is off speed and high. Called a ball. 1 strike. Xavier Warren's looking for his first RBI since July 11th in the 4-2 loss at Wareham. Also got an RBI in the game previously on July 10th against Hyannis right here at Doran Park. 16 on the season. That leads the team. The 1-1 is a fastball low and inside. Xavier Warren takes a lead in this at-bat, 2-1.
And that one against Hyannis was a pinch hit infield single that he was able to beat out at first base. And the Braves will take that right here. The shift is on. Oviedo playing pretty close to second base. If Warren can chomp something over to Oviedo's right side, he's got a good chance at beating it out.
Infield no longer playing in. Nick Gonzalez is playing more toward right field. The 2-1 pitch is off speed. Warren flies it foul. Third base side into the seats, and he now has a 2-2 strike count. 2 outs, 2-2 ball game. In the bottom of the fourth, Nick Bruiser led off this inning with a triple, and he's over at third looking to come home. Kyle Hess flew out. Cody Morissette struck out. Xavier Warren with a 2-2 count. Brereton comes set. The righty kicks and fires off speed. A called ball. Falls low. Pasek doesn't catch it. Actually hit off the gear. And now it's a 3-2 strike count.
Yeah, that's kind of weird there from Pasek. It looked like that pitch necessarily wasn't in the dirt. It looked like Pasek just missed it. Maybe off of the edge of the glove, and it stayed right in front of him. Lucky that it didn't skirt behind him. Now 3-2 with 2 outs, first base open. Not a must for the pitcher Brereton here. He's able just to go out and give a good pitch, although I don't think he wants to face Beloso on deck either.
Beloso's 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Brereton comes set, now steps off the mound. Bruiser got his just third extra base hit of the year, has 2 doubles as well. Brereton comes set. From the stretch, he kicks and fires the 3-2. It's a check swing from Xavier Warren. He did not go around, and that's ball 4. It was a high fastball. Warren, a close swing. And second base umpire, Tom Carey, says he did not go around, and Jordan with a 2-man crew, it's tough to make that call.
Well, you just took the words out of my mouth. That is the effect of having only 2 umpires. In this situation with the runner on third, the third base umpire would have been down the line, placed at third base. It looked like, without question, Warren went around. They get the benefit of the call because from the placement, Tom Carey really can't see the plate. Pat Burns did not call it immediately, so they have to appeal down to the field umpire. And just from that angle over by second base, it's impossible to see where the bat is.
The Braves catch a break, and what was almost a for sure strikeout to Xavier Warren, he's now on first. He reaches base in all 3 at-bats. Still 0 for 1, and now it's Cade Beloso who's 0 for 2, a strikeout and a flyout. Brereton throws back to first. Warren's back in time. Bruiser still over at third, and that's the important run the Braves want to get home to take the lead in this game. It's still 2-2 with 2 outs in the bottom of the fourth. Time is called. Beloso already 1 error in this game. The only error for the Braves. Just 2 RBIs in his summer stay so far on the Cape. Brereton comes set, throws back to first. Xavier Warren slides back. Bruiser faked like he was going home on that play. Third baseman Casey Schmidt talking over with him. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter matchup. Brereton kicks and fires the first pitch. It's a swinging strike on Cade Beloso on an off-speed. Beloso's down 0-1.
And Beloso has faced Brereton in this game. He flew out to left the first time. He got a chance to see him now the second time around. Everything a little bit more familiar now for Beloso.
0-1. Fastball in the dirt, bounces before Pasek. He gets up before anybody can go anywhere. It's a 1-1 count on Beloso. Bruiser was about halfway between third and home. He quickly got back to third. And Pasek, a good stop, saves a run from coming home.
Yeah, he does. And another one of those plays, Sam, we talk about it all the time, does not end up in the box score, but Really, that play right there from Pasek blocking that ball in the dirt is the only thing keeping this game tied.
Brereton looks back at first with Xavier Warren. Now comes set for the 1-1. He kicks and fires off speed. Ground ball, first base side. It's called a foul ball right by the line. Veloso now has a 1-2 count. Lucky that ball went foul. It was going to be gloved by Mason McWhorter, the first baseman, anyway. He now gets another shot with 2 strikes on him.
Yeah, he's lucky that ball went foul. He's given another chance at life here, but now in danger of striking out for the second time today. Beloso not really known as a strikeout hitter, but in danger of doing so.
The 1-2 Beloso skies a high fly ball to shallow left field. Parker Chavers is moving under it. He will make the play for the third out of the inning, and the Braves leave runners at the corners. No runs come across the plate in the bottom of the fourth. We'll head to the top half of the fifth. Still a 2-2 tie between the Braves and the Kettleers. You're watching Braves Baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Adam Oviedo will lead things off in the top of the fifth inning. And the Kettleers catch a break. They give up a leadoff triple to Nick Bruiser, and the Braves can't bring him home. No runs in the bottom of the fourth. It's still a 2-2 tie. Oviedo will face Lardner for the second time. He struck out looking in the top of the second. 3 strikeouts for Lardner on the mound today. First pitch is a breaking ball that Oviedo swings at 0-1.
And you have to imagine Lardner probably not going to be pitching past the 6th inning, so ending the end of his outing here. And if those 2 runs are the only ones, it's a successful one.
0-1 to Oviedo is a fastball low. Check swing, he did not go around. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Mac Lardner's last start, he went 7 innings. That's the longest any Braves pitcher has ever gone this season. This being his 5th game started. Here's the 1-1. Fastball Oviedo fouls off toward the screen, 1-2. And Mac Lardner came into the Cape season riding a hot start. A rising senior in the Gonzaga program. His last start for Gonzaga was the 24th of May against BYU. He went 8 innings there, only gave up 3 hits. 1-2 is cut on and missed strike 3. That's the 4th strikeout for Mac Lardner and the first out in the top of the 5th.
Yeah, and he definitely has found a groove into this game. Had some trouble early. You give up a couple of solo shots, but that's all wiped away now. But going up against the top of this order now for the 3rd time.
It's Nick Gonzalez, 1 for 2. A leadoff home run in the first inning. Solo shot and grounded out to short in the second. Lardner in the windup. The first pitch is a called ball outside. Gonzalez squared around a bunt, pulled it back, and watched the ball. Gonzalez, one of the most consistent players in this league, has been all summer. 1-0. Off speed high. 2-0 now. He has one of the top averages in the entire league, coming into this game at .337. 2-0. Fastball inside Gonzalez. A high fly ball to deep left field. Kyle Hess is moving back. He's in front of the wall, and he'll make the catch. Scary moment for Mac Lardner on the mound. Nick Gonzalez almost went yard for the second time tonight, but Kyle Hess makes the out right in front of the wall for the second out.
Yeah, Sam, what do you think? That was about 5 to 10 feet from going over the fence for the second time tonight. Hess with his hand on the wall. There are low fences here at Dorn Park, about hip high, and it's about 340 to that part of the field, and I think Nick Gonzalez just hit it 335.
Now it's Casey Schmidt, who also homered in that first inning. The first pitch is low. It actually gets behind Jackson Greer, hits off the backstop. Luckily, nobody was on base, and starts out Schmidt with a 1-0 count. He's also 1 for 2. Solo shot in the first, a fly out to third in the third inning. 5 hits for the Braves, 4 for the Kettleers. Lardner in the windup. Here's the 1-0 pitch. It's inside, jammed him, and taken to left field. Bounces in front of Kyle Hess. It's a 2-out single for Casey Schmidt, his second hit of the ballgame.
Yeah, floater that did not hang up in the air long enough for Kyle Hess to lay out and die for, and especially with somebody like Schmidt, I think the smarter play is just to let that hit the ground and go after Parker Chavers here, who's over 2 with a couple strikeouts.
You mentioned Chavers been struck out 1 time swinging and 1 time looking. Lardner comes set. First pitch is a high fastball that Chavers swings at for the first strike. 0-1. Lardner's only struck out 2 batters in this game. It's Chavers and Adam Oviedo. Lardner checks back over at first. Now fires the 0-1. Casey Schmidt steals the throw over to second by Jackson Greer. The tag is applied by Jimmy Glowenke for an out. Jackson Greer's throw almost pulled Glowenke off the bag, but he turns around, bends his body, and tags Casey Schmidt in time for the 3rd out of the inning. An athletic play by shortstop Jimmy Glowenke. It's still a 2-2 game. We head to the bottom half of the 5th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Jimmy Glowenke makes an athletic play at second base to get the tag on a stealing Casey Schmidt to round out the top of the 5th. It'll be Jackson Greer leading things off in the bottom half. Greer followed by Fabian and Glowenke, 2 up in this inning. 2-2 tie right now between the Kettleers and the Braves. 5 hits apiece on either side. Though it's been a rather tight game. Richard Brereton's still on the mound. He'll come set. Into the windup. Now fires the first pitch to Jackson Greer. It's a fastball down the middle for a strike. Greer is 0 for 2. Strikeout looking in the first and swinging in the third. He's catching for the second straight game. 0-1. Off speed. Greer flies out foul. First base side. He now falls behind 0-2.
And an 0-2 count now to the catcher Greer. And you know what I think we're about to see right now?
High fastball.
Fastball high. I think so. I think try and get him to chase something. And the reason that you go fastball high, it's harder to hit. Your hands have to move higher, and that adjustment usually is all that a pitcher needs to get that ball by you.
Here's the 0-2. It's a fastball low. Jackson Greer still swings at it for the third strikeout of the game for him. Greer falls to 0 for 3. He's not enjoying this one. That's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and you have to wonder mentally how much that delay messed with Jackson Greer. He might be the most routine person I've ever met in my life. Has the same schedule, the same routine every single day from the time he goes to sleep to the time he wakes up.
Now it's Judd Fabian. First pitch from Brereton is an off-speed, curving into the zone for a called strike one. Fabian on the game so far, 1 for 2. Came around to score in the second inning. Now sees the 0-1 pitch, off speed again, outside, called a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. Well, Greer has now struck out 5 times in the past 2 games, or in the past 3 games. 1-1. Fastball, Fabian, high fly ball to right field. Christian Robinson under it. Just before the warning track will make the play for the second out.
And a high fly ball, and it's dangerous on those types of plays because we saw Brendan Rivoli lose a ball in the lights, actually, over in right field. So if the ball, you hit it at the right height, actually might get lost up in those lights and might fall for a hit. But Robinson does a nice job adjusting. And I'll bring up now Jimmy Glowenke.
Glowenke's 1 for 2, a single in the third inning, a fly out in the second. Made a great tag in the last inning on a stealing Casey Schmidt. First pitch is a high fastball, 1-0. Glowenke shows what he can do in the field. 2 outs, nobody on, 2-2 score. Here's the 1-0. Off speed and low, and Glowenke's ahead 2-0.
And the Braves will take a walk here. Anything to get the offense moving a little bit. Had a runner on third base with no outs and failed to score. And that's reminiscent of the first half Braves, who would fill up the hit column but failed to score runs.
Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a fastball inside. Glowenke, high fly ball to left field. Chavers is under it right before the warning track, and it goes into his glove for the third out of the inning. Braves go down in order. No runs, no hits. A 2-2 game. We approach the 6th. You're watching Braves baseball on the Bourne Braves Baseball Network. Middle of the lineup, due up for the Cotuit Kettleers. We are still tied at 2 and have been ever since the bottom of the second when the Braves put 2 on the board, a 2 RBI single by Kyle Hess. Parker Chavers, Mason McWhorter, and Christian Robinson due up in this inning. Chavers is 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts. Actually was in the middle of his at-bat when Casey Schmidt was thrown out behind the plate by Jackson Greer. And a great tag by Jimmy Glowenke. First pitch is a high and tight fastball that just catches the zone for a strike.
And with this game's the way it's been going, Sam, as there is a Cotuit arm warming up, I think the next run might win it.
0-1 pitch is a breaking ball just outside of the zone. 1 ball, 1 strike. Mac Lardner still on the mound for now his 6th inning of work. Here's the 1-1 off speed, bounces before the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Braves have had the past 2 games not start at the scheduled time. Last night, it was against Harwich in a game that was supposed to start at 5:30. Here's the 2-1 to Chavers. He takes to right field. We'll get down for a single. Right off the end of the bat, he pulled it and bounced in front of Nick Bruiser for a leadoff single for him, his first hit of the game. But at Harwich, the power wasn't turned on. There was a power outage because of a crash near the Harwich field, White House Field. Power wasn't working. They decided to move the game up to 5:15 to try and get it in before they would need lights. And the power just suddenly turned on right before first pitch. Now it's Mason McWhorter. First pitch is an off-speed outside. 1-0.
And now the Instagram users who follow the Braves won't get to see your update that you were about to do. Is right after you finish filming an update that, oh, look at that. We got power.
1-0's a fastball low. 2-0.
See, that'll go down in the tunnels of Braves history.
Yeah, it's like the unreleased albums by
Exactly.
legendary, like Prince unreleased albums.
Right.
That was my unreleased video. 2-0. McWhorter watches it in the dirt. It's now a 3-0 count. Parker Chavers still over at first. And they moved it up, and I think even if the power would have never worked throughout that game, they would have gotten that game in without ever needing lights just because of how quick it was.
Yeah, it was only like 2 hours and 20 minutes, so the sun's setting around 8:30. It's pretty dark now. It's about 8:30 here. Yeah, I think if they start at 5:30, that game goes to 7:30, they'd be fine.
3-0 is a fastball down the middle, a much-needed called strike for Mac Lardner. Lardner has struck out 4. He comes set yet again. We'll fire the 3-1 on McWhorter. It's a slowly hit ground ball over to Morissette. Will throw across his body over to second to get the lead runner out at second. Chavers couldn't get there in time. Glowenke was covering. It's the first out of the inning.
And that's a gutsy play by Morissette to go for the force out at second base, moving to his left, having to receive the ball cleanly, then spin around. And actually, he slipped while he was throwing. He went to go plant his foot, and his foot kept sliding. He made the throw accurately and just beat Chavers going into second base. So it's a fielder's choice for McWhorter, but a key out, keeping the runner out of scoring position.
Nice play by Cody Morissette at second. Gets the lead runner. McWhorter's at first. Christian Robinson now up. First pitch is a fastball on the outside part of the plate, called for strike 1. Robinson's 0 for 1, a fly out to center, and he got on with a walk in the first inning. Facing Mac Lardner for the third time tonight. The lefty comes set. Here's the 0-1. It's a fastball high that Robinson fouls off toward the high school. It's now 0-2.
A strikeout would be huge here for Lardner, as it looks like Jared Poland is warming up right now for the Braves, so he's likely to come in for the top of the 6th inning if he is to keep warming up as he is.
Poland comes set, now throws it over to first. McWhorter gets back in time. Poland looking to pick it up on the pitching side. He's pitched in 3 games, has a 1-1 record, all in relief, a 9.81 ERA. His last game, he went just 1 inning and allowed 1 earned run on 1 walk and 1 strikeout. Actually got the win against Hyannis. 0-2. And just fouled off by Robinson on the mound, or at the plate. Still 0-2.
And that last appearance for Poland was kind of similar to where a closer would blow a save, and then the team comes back in the bottom half of the inning to win the game on a walk-off, and the pitcher gets credit for a blown save and a win. Kind of the same situation. Poland giving up the lead, however, in the bottom half, the Braves scoring 2.
0-2, Robinson fouls it off toward the Kettleers dugout. Nice catch by a fan on the first base side. The count remains no balls and 2 strikes. We talked about last night's game starting ahead of the scheduled time. This game started about 50 minutes late. We're missing a few umpires to be able to start this game at the scheduled time of 6 o'clock. It now moves to the latest game started at the year for the Braves at Doran Park. Started around 6:50. 0-2. High and tight to Robinson. He lays off. Ducks out of the way. A 1-2 count now.
Yeah, tough to have a game without the guys in blue. Obviously, some type of conflict in the scheduling somewhere. But all that matters is that we're playing baseball now, and we got a good game on our hands.
Lardner comes set. Jackson Greer sets up outside. He fires the 1-2 pitch. It's fouled off by Robinson, out of play. And he is doing a great job of staying in this at-bat. Still 1-2. This game started so late it almost felt like a Wareham game. Those games starting about 6:45. The start of this game was 6:55 tonight. Time called by Christian Robinson, the batter. On deck, it's going to be Dante Williams, who's 0 for 2, grounded out into a double play in the first inning. Robinson's back. Lardner looking to put him away on this 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Outside, got him swinging. That's the 5th strikeout for Mac Lardner on the mound. Robinson goes down on strikes, 2 gone.
Good pitch there from Lardner, getting Robinson to chase after a pitch that kissed off the dirt. Now is only 1 out away from getting out of this inning. Poland, who's warming up right now, he might want to hurry up because he's the first batter due up in the 6th inning for the Braves.
He can do it all. He's DHing today. Plays on both sides of the game. The first pitch is high inside to Dante Williams. 0 for 2. Williams in his last game against Bourne went 1 for 5. 3 strikeouts in the 5-0 victory for Cotuit. That game played just 2 days ago. 1-0. Williams off the inside part of the bat. A little blooper over to Xavier Warren. He slides on the third base side. It falls foul. It's now a 1-1 count on Dante Williams. Xavier Warren really thought he had a shot at that one. Tried to slide and make the play, but it falls in front of him. 1-1 count.
He's a little upset with himself that he did not make the catch. And you have to imagine for Poland, if he gets on base in this next half inning and he stays on base for a long time, he's not going to be able to come into the game because his arm is going to have gone cold by then. So perhaps he's warming up, trying to just get it started, and then come back after his at-bat to get ready to get to pitch the 7th inning, perhaps?
1-1 is outside. Called a ball, 2-1. Mason McQuarters at first. 2-2 game in the top of the 6th inning. 6 hits for Cotuit, 5 for the Braves. 2 outs. Williams, the center fielder today. Lardner comes set. Looks at first. Now fires the 2-1 pitch. It's low on the fastball. 3-1. Likely Lardner's last inning. His last start was the longest start the Braves have seen by a starting pitcher this year. He went 7 innings against Falmouth. 3-1. Williams, a fly ball to deep center field. Judd Fabian is moving back on it. He's under it, and he makes the play in front of the 395 sign in center field. A deep fly ball that Fabian takes care of, and the Cotuit Kettleers leave 1 runner on and don't score anything. Bottom of the 6th inning we go. 2-2 game. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The possible next pitcher for the Braves, and Jared Poland will lead us off in the bottom of the 6th inning in a tied 2-2 game. It's been tied since the bottom of the 2nd inning. Poland will lead things off. We saw him warming up in the bullpen last inning. Quickly got back down to the dugout, got his helmet on, batting gloves, and is now set to bat against Richard Brereton. Poland's 1 for 2, singled and came around to score in the 2nd inning for the 2nd run. First pitch from Brereton. Is a fastball right down the middle for a strike. Starts off Poland 0-1. Poland, of course, a two-way player. Looking to improve things on the pitching side. Has a high 9.81 ERA. 0-1. Poland off speed, roped right down the third base line. Casey Schmidt, a nice diving play. His throw is going to take first baseman Mason McWhorter off the bag. Casey Schmidt makes another good play right down the third base line, but his throw is not accurate, and Poland is on with a single.
Well, that's almost the play that the Braves are tired of seeing. The diving catch by Schmidt down the third base line. This time his throw just pulls the first baseman McWhorter off the bag, and the Braves now have their go-ahead base runner sitting on first base.
It was Henry Davis, the Braves' former catcher, who was here for about 2 weeks. Ended up having to be sent home because of an injury. Throw back to first. Poland's back in time. He was the one that had a few ground outs right in the same area to Casey Schmidt. He made 2 diving plays, and what was more impressive than the diving play was the throw over to first. He did that 2 times in one game. He almost does it on Poland, but he gets on. Now it's Nick Bruiser. Bruiser's 1 for 1. Throw back to first. Poland's back in time. He walked, came around to score in the second inning, and got a leadoff triple in the fourth. He's now up with Poland over on first. Another move to throw to first, and Poland slides back safely. That's 3 in a row.
The radar is going off about Jared Poland on first base. Maybe Brereton thinks he's got him leaning off the bag or something. That'd be my guess.
First pitch to Bruiser. Off speed and inside. He ducks out of it. 1 ball and 1 strike count. Bruiser, the rising junior out of Stanford, stands at 6'3", 205 pounds. Can play first base, although we haven't seen him play first too much with Cade Beloso typically getting the starts. He squares around the bunt. Now the 1-0 pitch, pulls it back, and will watch a strike. It was a fastball. He pulled it back. 1-1.
Yeah, and that's a strike that I would have to assume is the very top of the zone. Bruiser did not like the call from Pat Burns behind the plate, also known as Sparky. That's his nickname. I didn't choose his nickname, Sam. That's his nickname. That's what we've called.
It's a cool one, too. 1-1 from Brereton. Off speed, Bruiser will foul it off over the press box, and now he's in a 1-2 hole. The Braves ending a 3-game losing streak last night, improving their record to 11-16. Cotuit coming off a 6-6 tie. They previously had a 3-game winning streak there. 1-2. Fastball low, stopped by Pasek, the catcher. It's called a ball. Poland is back over to first, 2-2.
Yeah, nice job by Pasek to keep that ball at his feet. And Kettleers winning 3 straight, tying last night. They no longer have a 3-game winning streak, but they have now a 4-game not losing streak. Doesn't have the same ring to it, though.
No, it doesn't.
No.
Last time they lost was against the Braves on July 9th. 2-2, high and outside. Poland or Bruiser takes it. The count now runs full, 3-2. And for the Braves, their previous 3 games, they went 1-2 in that stretch. They only scored 4 runs. You look at the 3 games before that where they had a 3-game winning streak, scored 24 runs. That's a tale of 2 different streaks there. One of them was the 14-0 victory against Falmouth, where they exploded. Jackson Greer hit a grand slam. Brereton comes set. The 3-2 pitch on Bruiser got him swinging for strike 3. It's the first out of the inning. Bruiser strikes out for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and it's an important strikeout there from Brereton, who gets his first out now, ground ball away from getting out of the inning. And here's been the only offensive production the past 2 nights now for the Braves and Kyle S.
Hess has come up clutch. Time is called. Mike Roberts heading out on the mound to talk with Richard Brereton. They're going to make a move to the bullpen. So Brereton's night will be over. He'll come out in the middle of a bottom of the 6th inning with a runner on first and 1 out. Still a 2-2 tie. We'll take a quick break. Cotuit with a new pitcher. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Richard Brereton's night is over. He pitches 5 innings in relief of the starter Chris Holcomb. Only allowed 3 hits, struck out 4, 2 walks, and did not allow a single run. And now the Kettleers turn it over to the all-star Matt Moore.
Yeah, he is an all-star and with good reason. 1-0 on the year, a .9 ERA. He's pitched in 7 games, 10 innings. And in his last time out against Wareham, he got the credit for the win in that one. Pitched 3 innings, only 2 hits in that one, and he's been pretty good. He's only given up 1 earned run the entire season. That was back on June 28th.
And he'll face Kyle Hess, who's been the only offensive production this game and last. The first pitch is an inside off-speed that almost hits Hess. It's 1-0. Hess is 1 for 2, a 2 RBI single in the second inning. Matt Moore out of Purdue. From Avon, Indiana. He comes set with 1 out. Poland's over at first. He throws toward Poland, and he slides back in time. At Purdue, Moore had a 4.18 ERA. Pitched in 28 innings. 35 strikeouts on his part, just 10 walks. Goes back to first. Poland stands up this time.
Now, this is what's interesting about having a two-way player who's getting ready to come into the game, especially who's playing in the lineup. Poland, now, with the way this inning's gone, he's had no time to warm up.
The 1-0 on Kyle Hess is a fastball right up the middle. Nick Gonzalez flips it over to second. The throw to first. It's a 4-6-3 double play that gets the Cotuit Kettleers out of the inning. The Braves lead off on a leadoff single by Jared Poland, but can't get him around to score. We head to the final third, the 7th inning coming up next. Still tied 2-2. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. The man that got the leadoff single for the Braves last inning is now on the mound, Jordan. It's Jared Poland coming on in relief of Mac Lardner.
Yeah, so Lardner with a successful outing will go into the books as a no decision for him. Poland coming into the game with the highest active ERA on the team, 1-1 on the year, a 9.81 ERA. He's thrown 3 2/3 innings. We last saw him back on July 10th against Hyannis. He got the win in that one and a 1-inning pitch affair.
First pitch to Cody Pasek is flied off. Third base side. Going foul. Falls behind 0-1. Pasek is 0 for 2. A fly out and a ground out. Lardner goes 6 innings, allowing 6 hits, 2 earned runs on the 2 homers. The 0-1 is off speed from Poland outside, 1-1. 5 strikeouts for him, just 1 walk. Pretty solid outing if you take out the leadoff home runs by Cotuit. 1-1 outside fastball. 2-2. 2-1.
It's not often that you see a pitcher with his uniform fully dirty, especially in this baseball league.
Here's the 2-1 pitch from Jared Poland, a fastball that Pasek flies out over the press box. And the count now evens up 2-2. I can tell you one player we've seen that from. It's Casey Schmidt on the Cotuit side.
And I would not be surprised if this game goes into the later parts of the 8th of the ninth if we see him on the mound.
Already gotten a save against the Braves so far this season. 2-2. Pasek flies off third base side, going foul yet again. We'll go into foul territory toward the high school. Remains in the at-bat. 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on. Top of the 7th inning. 2-2 score. Both teams with 6 hits. This Cotuit team, a dangerous lineup. 2-2 is off-speed. Ground ball first base side, going foul. A dangerous lineup on their part. They lead the league with 28 homers. They got 2 in a leadoff home run from Nick Gonzalez, and Casey Schmidt followed and homered himself.
And it's important to note here with the Braves going to Poland, they sacrificed their DH spot, so it's now a 9-man lineup.
2-2 to Pasek, an inside fastball just called a ball. Good take from Pasek, and the count now runs full, 3-2.
And the Braves bench not happy about that. No call there from Sparky Burns behind the plate, just missed perhaps inside. Now Poland's got to throw another pitch here at 3-2.
Payoff. It's a fastball low, check swing. He did go around. The first batter that Jared Poland sees, he strikes out on a 3-2 pitch. Pasek's not very happy about it. It was called by home plate umpire Pat Burns. That's the first out of the inning.
Yeah, and he's not happy with that one because he wanted the first base umpire, Tom Carey, to appeal it. He wanted the call to come from him. And however, Burns saw it go around the plate, and the Braves will take that for out number 1.
First pitch to Joey Loperfido is a called strike. He squared around a bunt, pulled it back, and watched that pitch. It's 0-1. Poland on the season, that's just his 6th strikeout. 0-1. Fastball, Loperfido fouls off. Hits the high school. Now he's down 0-2. Two-two game. Top of the 7th inning. Poland into the windup, kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch. Got him swinging. It's 2 straight strikeouts for Jared Poland on the mound. 2 outs in the top of the 7th.
And he bit on the classic fastball high in a 2-strike count. Poland got him to go around, and what a difference a couple outing makes. He gives up 4 runs combined in his last 2 outings, both against the worst team in the league. Now going up against one of the better teams, he's got 2 strikeouts and 2 batters.
Adam Oviedo, who's already struck out 2 times, comes up facing Poland for the first time into the windup. Now fires the first pitch. It's a fastball low. Bounces in the dirt. Now a 1-ball, no strike count. Poland now with 7 strikeouts on the year. Just 1 walk. (1-0) is a called strike. 1-ball, 1 strike count to Oviedo. Shortstop today, struck out looking in the 2nd and swinging in the 5th inning. He faces Poland for the first time. His jersey and pants all hit hard with dirt. 1-1, little chopper. Third base side will stay fair. Xavier Warren charging in, makes the throw. It is in time. Xavier Warren throws out Adam Oviedo on a very weakly hit ground ball to third, and the Kettleers go down in order. Jared Poland does his job out of the bullpen. We're still tied 2-2, and it's stretch time here at Doran Park. We head to the bottom half of the 7th. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Top of the order due up for the Braves. It'll be Cody Morissette, Xavier Warren, and Cade Beloso due up in the bottom of the 7th. The Braves desperately trying to find runs in a 2-2 ball game. 2 runs in the top of the 1st for the Kettleers on back-to-back home runs from Gonzalez and Schmidt, and Kyle Hess being the only offense for the Braves in the bottom half of the 2nd with a 2-run single. So now it's Morissette. First pitch he sees is low. 1-0. Morissette 0 for 2. He reached base on a walk in the 2nd inning. Matt Moore still on the mound for the Kettleers. The 1-0 pitch is outside. Morissette now ahead 2-0.
This is turned into a battle of the bullpens here. And if you'd asked me a week and a half ago who'd win this game in a battle of the bullpens, I'd say the Braves uncertainly. But now here against Cotuit, it's going to be close.
2-0 off speed and outside off the hand of Moore. It's now 3-0. The Braves just 2-11 when scoring 2 runs or less. They know they have to pick that up. They want to get the victory here tonight. 3-0. Fastball down the middle for a much-needed strike. 3-1. Morissette had been on a 5-game RBI streak previously this year. The 3-1 pitch is a liner right back up the middle that gets into center field. Leadoff single for Cody Morissette, his first hit of the ball game. The Braves lead off with a runner on.
Yeah, much needed hit there from Morissette. Sitting on a 3-1 fastball, takes it straight back up middle, and that's how you want to start off your home half of the 7th inning as we head toward the ending frames of this game. And Xavier Warren, Cade Beloso, and Jackson Greer all due up, and that sounds like money for a few of the Braves.
Now it's Xavier Warren, who's gotten on base 3 times by getting everything but a hit. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st, got on with a fielder's choice in the 2nd, and walked in the 4th. Looking for his first hit of the game with Morissette on first. He's facing Matt Moore for the first time. The lefty comes set. Xavier Warren batting from the right side. Xavier Warren turns around to bunt and leaves it out there. Watches strike 1. Can't get the bunt down. Looking to get the potential go-ahead run to second base.
You'd have to imagine that that's probably the only time we'll see the bunt being squared up here by Warren.
Throwback over to first. Moore was about to throw the pitch to Warren. Warren looked like he was going to take that bat off the shoulder and square around.
Yeah, so Harvey Shapiro wanting to play small ball here, move the go-ahead run, the potential winning run into scoring position, and try and hit him in from there.
Here's the 0-1. He squares around a bunt and can't get it down. He pulled back just in time and watches ball 1 on the inside part of the plate, 1-1. Matt Moore working the off speed. 7 hits for the Braves, 6 for the Kettleers. Moore comes set. The 1-1, Xavier Warren squares around a bunt, pulls it back, and watches a ball low, 2-1.
Pitch miss low there from Moore, and the Cotuit bench and their fans over on the first base side did not like that call. It looked to be just below the knees. Pasek did a nice job of framing it up, but did not get the call. Now at 2-1. Let's see if he still got the bunt sign here.
2-1. Warren squares around a bunt, gets it down, third base line. Casey Schmidt waits for it to go foul. Now Warren with a 2-strike count. Likely puts the bunt away. That one just going foul down the third base line. So he'll swing away here 2-2.
Yeah, smart play there by Schmidt on third base to let the ball go foul. It's not foul until you touch it foul, so he lets the ball completely roll foul, and then he touches it to kill that play. Now 2-2. You have to imagine that the bunt is dead, so now Warren, who has yet to strike out in tonight's game, has to battle here on 2-2.
Morissette on first. No outs in the inning. Throw back over to first. Morissette back in time. Matt Moore from Purdue. Facing off against Xavier Warren from Central Michigan. The 2-2 pitch is a fastball inside, called strike 3. Warren goes down for the first time on strikes tonight. It's the first out of the inning.
That's tough to go down looking especially after you lead in the count, almost get the bunt down, to have a strikeout in that position, the most unproductive out you can have. Now that'll kill any bunts. There's no reason to sacrifice with your 3-hole hitter on at the plate, and to sacrifice, you'd have a runner on second with only 2 outs.
Here's Cade Beloso. First pitch is off speed and outside for Moore. It's a lefty on lefty matchup, and Beloso's 0 for 3. Strikeout, 2 flyouts, hasn't batted since the 4th inning. Comes up with Morissette on first, 1 out in the inning, and a tie 2-2 game. Moore, the future all-star, comes set, fires the 1-0, off speed, slides right in the zone. Makes that a 1-1 count.
Good pitch there, off speed, as Beloso gets his sign from Harvey Shapiro. You have to wonder if he'll pull the trigger on some type of hit and run to try and make something happen here in this home half of the 7th.
Throw back over to first. Morissette, who took a bigger lead that time, runs back. Cotuit placing 2 players on the starting roster for the All-Star game. It's Nick Gonzalez and Aubrey Major, who hasn't played since July 13th against the Braves here at Doran Park. The 1-1 pitch, Beloso flies it back over the backstop and out of play. Runs the count out now 1-2.
That'll kill any type of hit and run possibility that the Braves might have had with 2 strikes. You want to avoid running into the 3rd out on a potential strike him out, throw him out double play. So now Beloso just have to battle here.
1-2. Beloso, outside pitch. He did go around, tried to hold up that check swing. But home plate umpire Pat Burns calls him out. And that's the 2nd out of the inning, the 2nd time Beloso has struck out in this game. He is not known for striking out.
He's not, but he's done so twice tonight. And now here comes Jackson Greer. As a pitcher, how do you get over giving up a leadoff single? As we'll have Mike Roberts come out, potentially make a pitching change against the right-hander Jackson Greer. How do you get out of a leadoff single? They are going to go to the bullpen, by the way. So we'll put what I was going to say on pause. The Kettleers making a pitching change.
Well, it's like that'll be it for Matt Moore, who strikes out 2 straight after allowing a leadoff single to Cody Morissette. It's a new pitcher for the Cotuit Kettleers in the middle of the bottom of the 7th inning with 2 outs. We'll take a quick break. Kettleers with a new arm. 2-2 game. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Matt Moore is off the mound. He goes 1 1/3, allows 1 hit, No runs so far. Still is responsible for Morrison at first. No walks. He strikes out 3. The new pitcher for the Kettleers is Matthew Mervis, the rising senior out of Duke University. He'll face Jackson Greer.
Yeah, so Mike Roberts playing the matchup game didn't want the lefty to go up against the righty, Jackson Greer. So Moore does his job, 1 1/3 inning. Mervis on the year 1-1 at 2.25 ERA. He faced the Bravos before he actually got the win in that game, pitching a 1 2/3 innings, giving up 1 earned run off of 4 hits. Last through against Harwich back on the 11th. 3 innings there, and that was hitless baseball, earning himself the save.
Jackson Greer's the batter that he wants to face tonight. Greer's over 3 with 3 strikeouts. Morissette on first, 2 outs in the inning. Here's the first pitch from Mervis. It's a fastball high. Greer lays off 1-0.
And Mervis, another one of those two-way players for the Kettleers alongside Casey Schmidt. So Mervis coming into this game looking to pick up his 2nd win of the year.
Throw back to first. Morissette's back. Greer has struck out 14 times on the year, 3 of them coming tonight. He's one of only 2 catchers right now on the roster. It's him and Jacob Campbell. Mervis comes set, fires the 1-0, a hard swing and a miss from Greer, evens things up 1-1. Greer's looking for his first hit since July 11th against Wareham. He went 1 for 3. Ended a 3-game hitting streak July 13th against Cotuit and was hitless last night. Here's the 1-1. Fastball. Greer just gets a bat on it and fouls it over our heads. It's 1-2.
Greer likes to see off speed. I don't think he'll get it on this pitch. Mervis might go waste pitch here. Jackson trying to avoid the golden sombrero, in danger of striking out for the 4th time.
Morissette on first, 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. A 2-2 game. Mervis steps off the mound. Mervis has 10 strikeouts on the year. He's looking for number 11. Greer has struck out twice on the 1-2 count. His strikeout in the 5th was a 3-pitch strikeout. Mervis comes set. He kicks and fires the 1-2. Morissette's off running. The pitch is a called ball low. Morissette is out at second base. A throw out by Cody Pasek behind the plate. Gets the stealing Morissette. That's the 2nd time that Morissette's been caught stealing this year. And the Braves do not score in the bottom of the 7th. We'll head to the 8th. Still a 2-2 game. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Braves go down on a throwout from behind the plate. Cody Pasek throws it over to second. Cody Morissette was stealing. He is tagged out at second base. That's the 2nd time that Morissette's been caught stealing. And Joran, this Braves team does not steal well. That's the 10th time they've been out on the base pass. Only have 7 stolen bases on the year. That's last place in the entire league by 15 stolen bases. The second to the last is Orleans with 22.
Yeah, so this is just something the Braves do not do well. That's why it was almost so shocking to see Morissette running. It's a 1-2 count. You'd have to think that maybe the hit and run was on 1 and 2. Greer obviously did not pick up on that, if that was the sign, because he watched a pitch outside. But Pasek was able to nail him at second base, and to Schmidt and Shavers in behind.
1-0 count to Schmidt. 2-2 game. 1-0. Fastball. Schmidt fouls off. Well, even up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Nick Gonzalez had the home run lead on this team for about maybe a minute and a half. And then Casey Schmidt came up, the very next batter in the 1st inning, and homered to also equalize them 2, as with the home run lead for this Cotuit team at 5. Poland comes set. Looks at second. Now the 1-1. Fastball, little chopper over to second. Morissette has it. Throws to first. Gonzalez gets to third. Schmidt will be out on the ground out to Morissette, but more importantly, the go-ahead run is 90 feet away with only 1 out.
Well, that's why the Cotuit bench is cheering so loud. If you didn't know, you might be confused. Oh, it's a ground ball to second. Why is everyone so happy for that? Schmidt did his job. He hit the ball on the right side of the field. That allows Gonzalez on second to advance to third base because it's hard to make a play from that side to throw across the diamond back to third. So now the Kettleers potentially 90 feet away from maybe winning this ball game with how this game has gone.
Now we have Ace Adams, the pitching coach, going and talking with Jared Poland on the mound. A leadoff infield single for Nick Gonzalez. Gets him to first. A wild pitch gets him to second. And that ground out to Gacy Schmidt gets him to third. Now it's Parker Chavers. Chavers hitless today, 2 strikeouts. 1 for 3, 2 strikeouts, singled in the 6th inning. All he needs is a fly ball to give the Kettleers the lead. Time being called. Home plate umpire Pat Burns will dust off the plate. Jackson Greer, the catcher, staring down. Nick Gonzalez over at third. Now he puts the mask on. Chavers, the lefty, against the righty, Jared Poland. Poland comes set. The first pitch to Chavers is a fastball on the inside part of the plate for a called strike 1.
Yeah, it's always important here to get ahead in the count, make the hitter come from behind, especially early. Infield playing up on the grass, trying to cut the runner down at third base if he decides to go home. However, Chavers, something hit hard, likely to get through.
0-1. Fastball inside, just a ball. Evens up the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Chavers with 12 RBIs on the year. A rising junior from Coastal Carolina, former Brave Tommy LaStella. Also went to Coastal Carolina. Played for the Braves in 2010. 1-1, broken back, ground ball. That goes foul. Now moves up to a 1 ball, 2 strike count, and now Chavers will get a new bat after the broken bat. Poland, a fastball inside, really jammed him. Tommy LaStella, who was named to the All-Star game as a member of the Angels. Played with Coastal Carolina and the Braves in 2010. And 5 years later, eventual MLB Home Run Derby champion Pete Alonso played with the Braves in 2015. Batted around .250 and didn't hit a single home run during his stay on the Cape.
However, he was selected to the Home Run Derby on the Cape despite not hitting a home run. It was a batting practice show every single day.
Chavers back in the box. Poland comes set. 1 out, a 1-2 count. He kicks and fires the pitch. It's a high fastball. Chavers lays off. 2-2. Infield playing in. Morissette, the second baseman. Glowenke at short. Warren at third and Beloso at first. All playing on the fringe. 2-2. Chavers, little nubber off the end of the bat over on the third base area. Xavier Warren will try and dive in foul territory. He can't get his outstretched glove to the ball. And the count remains 2-2.
Xavier has been close on a couple of plays over in foul territory on the third base side. Just couldn't get that one. If he did, it would have been interesting. I think Gonzalez likely would have tagged. So I think him not catching the ball actually saves the Braves a run for now.
1 out. Here's the 2-2. Inside, Chavers, a high fly ball that's going foul. Right over to our left. It'll bounce right behind the backstop. Jackson Greer was staring that ball down all the way, and the count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. If that ball would have been fair, it would have been a big out number 2 for the Braves, but at the last second, just blows foul.
Yeah, drifts foul, the spin on it, taking it over the netting, the closest foul ball that we've seen to us so far this season. I was expecting you to reach over the railing there, Sam, and pull that one in.
Arms aren't long enough. Wingspan is not very long. I'm only 5'5". Poland has a 2-2 count right now on Chavers. Here it is, 2-2. It's inside, almost hits him. He ducks out of the way, and the count will now run full in one of the most important at-bats of this game, 3-2 to Parker Chavers.
And it's important here, a walk doesn't kill you if you're Poland. If anything, you create a double play scenario, but after being ahead in this count, you definitely do not want to give up a free base. A strikeout here would be immeasurable.
Here's the payoff. It's off speed, just a little high. He walks Chavers. And Cotuit now has runners at the corners, only one out in the inning, and their cleanup hitter, Mason McWhorter, coming up, who's reached base 3 times.
So the middle infield will go back and play for the double play, which you have to do in this situation. Jackson Greer relays the first and third play, just in case Chavers over on first base tries anything sneaky. One out here. If you're Poland, you have to be throwing the ball low. I'd imagine trying to create the ground ball out. Ground ball here gets you out of this inning.
And McWhorter, while he has reached base 3 times, is only 1 for 3. He singled in the first. Got on by an error in the third and a fielder's choice in the 6th. First pitch to him. A fastball right down the pipe for a strike, 0-1. Runners on first and third. 2-2 game. That go-ahead run just 90 feet away, and it was a leadoff single by Nick Gonzalez. He got to second on a pass ball and then got to third on a ground out by Casey Schmidt. The 0-1 is cut on and missed on a fastball high and outside. McWhorter's now down 0-2.
Yeah, he got McWhorter to chase there on the fastball way up and out. Huge lead for Poland. And this is an opportunity where if you decide not to waste a pitch on the fastball high again, you can go down and away and try and turn that double play.
Poland comes set. Kicks and fires the 0-2 pitch, got him swinging. And that's a big out number 2 for Jared Poland. His third strikeout of the game so far. There's now 2 outs in the top of the 8th with runners at the corners.
One batter to go for Poland to get out of this jam. Runners on first and third. Gonzalez, it feels like he's been on third the entire inning as Greer relays a new sign. Poland 1 out away here, Sam.
And it'll be Christian Robinson who's going to try and get the run home at third base and put the Kettleers on top. Robinson's 0 for 2. He reached base on a walk in the first. Poland comes set. Here's the first pitch. Fastball right down the pipe, 0-1. The Kettleers right now in a tie for the most ties in this league. They have 3. Orleans also has 3. The Braves and Harwich are the only 2 teams left without one. 2-2 game right now. Poland hands meet at the chest. Throws back over to first. Gonzalez fakes like he's going over at third. He stays back. Kettleers have been held scoreless since the second batter of the ball game. 0-1. Robinson off the inside part of the bat. It's a fly ball over to the Braves dugout. It goes foul. Just hitting the screen. Jackson Greer was in pursuit. Robinson is now down 0-2, and how big would a strikeout be here for Jared Poland?
Oh, it'd be huge, not only for this game, but for his confidence as well moving forward. If he's able to get a strikeout here, get out of a runner on third with 1 out jam, keep the Braves in this with Jackson Greer, the catcher, due up to lead off the bottom of the 8th, but still not out of it yet. Has to make another great pitch here against a tough hitter here in Christian Robinson.
Poland staring down Greer. 2 outs in the inning. Comes set. Here's the 0-2 pitch on Christian Robinson. He gives that ball a ride to deep right field. That ball is just called foul. It was to the same part of the park that Parker Chavers took earlier in this game, right down that skinny right field line, only 300 to that area. And if that ball was, you think, maybe 5 feet to the left, it's a 3-run lead for the Kettleers.
Poland's very lucky. Very lucky there. 0-2 pitch. Christian Robinson should not have seen something that middle in that he got. Another one of those where if the ball traveled over the foul pole, but now Poland here, another chance to go get him here at 0-2.
0-2. He just fouls it off. Behind the press box. That's 2 foul balls on an 0-2 count. Christian Robinson so close to putting the Kettleers up 5-2. Runners at the corners. 2-2 game. Been tied since the bottom of the second inning. Poland comes set. Here's the 0-2. And fouls it off third base side. It hits the high school. This will now be a 6-pitch at-bat between Poland and Robinson.
Back and forth, the momentum in this game shifts, and this could be the ultimate shift if Poland is able to get himself out of this jam. Runner on third with only 1 out. He's got the opportunity here to save himself and the Braves.
Poland with 3 strikeouts so far in relief. He comes set. Kicks and fires the 0-2. Got him swinging. The Kettleers have runners on first and third and can't get anybody home. Jared Poland with a big strikeout in the top of the 8th. 2-2 game. We head to the bottom half. You're watching Braves Baseball on YouTube. Two to two, bottom of the 8th, and Jackson Greer has been taken out of this game for Brendan Rivoli, who's coming in for his first at-bat in a pinch hit appearance.
Yeah, he's coming into this game cold and has an opportunity here to potentially be the winning run. What an opportunity it is. Jacob Campbell is a little shaken up right now, so Rivoli, who has caught a lot before, you see him stretching before the batter's box. He'll come into the game and catch for Jackson Greer in all likelihood.
Rivoli sometimes comes out in between innings and catches for the pitcher who will be warming up as either Jacob Campbell or Jackson Greer is putting the gear on. So he's getting used to it. And with Jacob Campbell sidelined for a little bit, Brendan Rivoli might get behind the plate and catch the rest of this game. Jackson Greer had struck out 3 times, so his night ends. He's 0 for 3. And Rivoli comes up for his first at-bat against Matthew Mervis. Into the windup and fires the first pitch. It's a fastball low, 1-0. Rivoli coming into this at-bat, 122, 5 for 41 on the year. He's gotten a hit in 3 of his last 4 games. Last game he played in, he went 1 for 4 against Cotuit 2 days ago. 1-0. Fastball, Rivoli to left center field. Dante Williams moving towards it, but it'll be put out by Parker Chavers in left field. Not enough drive on that pitch by Rivoli. It's the first out.
Yeah, a little unlucky. The ball hung up there for Chavers to move over to his left and make the catch. And now that wipes out Rivoli, who likely will be putting on the gear, getting ready to come in the game and catch.
Now it's Judd Fabian. Fabian, 1 for 3. He's 2 for his last 19. He'll face Mervis for the first time. First pitch is a low fastball, 1-0. Fabian got 2 home runs in the July 9th game against Cotuit. 1-0. And Fabian gives that ball a ride. Deep left field. Chavers looking up. That ball's out of here. Judd Fabian in the bottom of the 8th inning makes this a 3-2 lead for the Bourne Braves.
No doubt about it. hit all the way past the batting cages. Judd Fabian taking advantage of Matthew Mervis, and on one swing of the bats, his streak is officially over, and he might have just won the Braves the game.
Make that his team leading 4th home run on the year. The team comes out of the dugout to greet him. And what a clutch one that was, to deep left field over the head of Chavers to make this a 3-2 ball game. Braves hadn't scored since the bottom of the 2nd. Now it's Jimmy Glowenke. Glowenke shoots that one to left field. It is curving just foul. Chavers wouldn't have gotten it. It's an 0-1 count on Glowenke, who's 1 for 3.
Sam, if you told me that we'd see 3 home runs in one game at Bourne Park, I would have told you you're crazy. But
well,
that's what we've seen tonight.
It was 3 all season coming into this game, and home runs have been the difference. 2 home runs by the Kettleers make their 2 runs on the game, and a big one off the bat of Judd Fabian to give the Braves the lead late. 0-1 is inside. Glowenke takes it 1 ball, 1 strike.
And what an opportunity now for the Braves to really capitalize on this. The closer looks like Kieran Shaw is going to get loose now for the Braves.
1-1. Off speed, Glowenke flies it to right center field. Christian Robinson moving in on it. He's under it, and he will make the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. Judd Fabian, what an addition he's been to this team. 4 home runs, that leads the team. Fabian, the rising sophomore out of Florida. Now make that 8 RBIs for him. Now it's Jared Poland who's pitching. Will likely be taken out. He's had a nice one at the plate. 2 for 3. First pitch from Mervis. Fastball that Poland hits opposite field. A fly ball, shallow right field. Christian Robinson moving in. He will put him away on the run for the 3rd out of the inning. But Judd Fabian hits a solo shot to left field that will possibly give the Braves the victory. We head to the top of the 9th. Braves up 3-2. You're watching Bourne Braves Baseball on YouTube. The Kettleer killer. Judd Fabian homers for the 3rd time against Cotuit this year. He homered in the July 9th game twice. One was a 3-run shot that ended up being the difference in the game. And he homers in the bottom of the 8th to give the Braves a 3-2 lead. And Jorn, it's the new closer, Kieran Shaw.
We saw him yesterday, and now pitching in his 2nd game in a row, looking for his 3rd save, his 2nd in 2 days, is Kieran Shaw. And actually, this would be, if he's able to pick this up, his 3rd consecutive save. He came in against Hyannis, got the save there. Harwich yesterday worked a 1-2-3 inning, got the save there. And if he's able to do so tonight, we'll pick up his 3rd save. The Braves on the year with 6 saves between Brocious and now Kieran Shaw. And it looks like Jacob Campbell comes into the game now to catch. So no Brennan Rivoli, at least for now.
Yeah, Campbell will be catching. Rivoli just pinch hitting. We thought he might come in to catch, but it will be Campbell, the number 2 catcher on this team. And for Kieran Shaw, he's going to be facing off 6, 7, 8 batters due up for the Kettleers to try and get them back in this one. They had the lead for just 1 inning, 2-0. The Braves came back, a 2-run single by Kyle Hess in the bottom of the second. And Judd Fabian, the solo home run in the bottom of the 8th. So here's Dante Williams, 0 for 3 games so far. First time he faces Shaw. The first pitch is a fastball outside part of the plate for a called strike 1.
And strikes are so important for Kieran Shaw. If he's able to fill up the zone fast and make these Cotuit hitters come from behind.
Cotuit, a dangerous team. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Shaw. It's a fastball high. Williams leads off. 1-1.
And the Braves not out of the woodwork yet here against this very elusive Cotuit team. That's why they've lost them 3 times in 4 games.
1-1. Got him swinging on a very fast fastball from Kieran Shaw. And Dante Williams now falls behind 1-2.
Strikeout from Shaw would be huge just to quiet any possible momentum with getting the leadoff man on board. If you're able to get that first down, that's very big.
Here's the 1-2 pitch to Dante Williams. He just fouls off. Stays in the at-bat, 1-2. This part of the lineup, 6, 7, 8, has only gotten 1 hit, and it was Joey Loperfido back in the second inning. He got a single. That's been it for this back part of the lineup. Adam Oviedo, the number 9 batter, also hitless. 7 hits for the Kettleers, 8 for the Braves. Shaw, the right-handed pitcher, into the windup, now kicks and fires the 1-2. It's off speed, falls low. Evens up the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, it seems like every game against the Cotuit Kettleers always goes long. This game almost reaching up to the 3-hour mark, a 6:55 start time. Here's the 2-2. Got him swinging, 1 gone. First strikeout for Kieran Shaw out of the bullpen, and the closer gets his first out, a swinging strike 3 on Dante Williams.
And that's big there from Kieran Shaw as Cody Pasek now comes to the plate to get that first out. That takes away any sacrifice opportunities. Really no point to come in and sacrifice as Pasek. We're going to have a disagreement here, a little miscommunication between Pasek and Mike Roberts.
Well, there was a pinch hitter that was lined up. Pasek is being told to hit. Cameron Hill was in the on-deck circle. Now he's being sent back to the dugout. First pitch from Kieran Shaw is a fastball on the outside part of the plate called strike 1. Pasek is 0 for 3, a fly out, ground out, and a strikeout. Right-handed pitcher, left-handed batter matchup. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Shaw. It's a check swing on an off-speed pitch. He did not go around. That'll even up the count, 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. 3-2 lead for the Bourne Braves. Judd Fabian with the solo shot in the bottom of the 8th. That might have sealed the deal for the Braves. The 1-1 pitch is another check swing. An appeal, he did not go around. 2-1, a very close call. The call made by first base umpire Tom Carey. It was an appeal by Pat Burns. And now it's a 2-1 count in favor of Cody Pasek.
And the problem is he's a lefty, and you're peeling down the first base line.
2-1. And off speed, high and outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. This is only a 2-man umpiring crew tonight. That was what the cause of the delay was, waiting for the umpires to get here. A little mix-up in scheduling. Now the 3-1 from Shaw. A fastball low and inside. It's a walk. Cody Pasek gets on, and the tying run is now over at first.
Tying run at first now with Joey Loperfido. Cameron Hill will come in to pinch run. So after that miscommunication, Hill does get the go-ahead to come into this game as a pinch runner. With 1 out, like I said, though, Sam, the importance of that out now, very unlikely that we'll see any type of sacrifice play.
Cameron Hill has 8 stolen bases on the year. And we know how much teams love to run on Jacob Campbell. The young catcher, a rising sophomore out of Illinois, has had his struggles behind the plates throwing runners out. Joey Loperfido comes up, a 1 for 3 game for him so far. Single in the second, ground out in the 4th, and a strikeout swinging in the 7th. A double play could end this one. Cody Morissette and Jimmy Glowenke playing pretty close to the second base bag. Shot comes set, 1 out in the inning. Here's the first pitch on Loperfido. It's a fastball, swinging strike, 0-1.
And Loperfido is the only hit out of this bottom 4 of the order between Williams, Pasek, Loperfido, and Oviedo. That was all the way back in the second inning. He falls quickly behind 0-1, and if Shaw can get the 0-2 lead, that'd be huge in this at-bat.
Shaw comes set. He kicks and fires. No, he throws back to first. Cameron Hill's back in time. The Braves looking for just their second win against the Kettleers in their second-to-last matchup of the season. This is the last time that Cotuit will ever visit Doran Park in the 2019 summer. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Kieran Shaw. Loperfido fouls it off, and he's now down in an 0-2 hole.
Get him to fall behind in the count. That's big for Kieran Shaw. Only 1 pitch away, and I expect him probably to go waste pitch here, probably up and away, and try and get Loperfido to chase.
3-2 lead for the Braves. 0-2 count on Joey Loperfido. Kieran Shaw looking for his 3rd save of the year with 1 out in the top of the 9th. 0-2. Got him swinging, a pitch in the dirt, and Loperfido swings at it for the 2nd out of the inning.
What a pitch by Kieran Shaw. The confidence to go breaking ball in the dirt. And now it all falls on to Adam Oviedo. 2 down, and the tying run sitting at first base. It's going to take an extra base hit or a home run for Oviedo and the Kettleers to come back in this one.
Oviedo has the tying run over at first base. 2 outs in the inning. He's 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts. 1 looking, 1 swinging. First pitch from Shaw. Oviedo fouls off toward the backstop. Starts him off 0-1. The Braves looking for their 12th win of the season. They would gain some ground on the Falmouth Commodores. Falmouth winning tonight 2-0 over Hyannis. Shaw comes set. Hill takes a lead off first. He's going. The 0-1 pitch is low, and Cameron Hill takes second. 1 ball, 1 strike count to Adam Oviedo, and that tying run now moves in scoring position.
Yeah, Hill stole second easily there, trying to test Shaw and took a bounce of a lead out an extra step, and then went as soon as Shaw moved. The pitch ended up in the dirt, so Campbell not even offering a throw down to second base. Now a base hit ties this game up.
And the base hit also brings up Nick Gonzalez, who's on deck, the leadoff hitter, and arguably the best hitter in this Kettleers lineup. 1-1. Oviedo watches a fastball in the zone for strike 2, and the Kettleers are down to their final strike.
And I think we'll see the hammer here from Kieran Shaw. Breaking ball, you're up in the count 1-2. Why not throw it straight into the dirt? Try and get him to chase, even if he does end up hitting it. If it's that low, not going to go anywhere else but the ground, and you'll get a ground out here. The Braves now 1 strike away.
Kieran Shaw comes set. 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Here's the 1-2 pitch. It's a line out over to Cody Morissette. Throws to first. This ball game is over. The Braves win it 3-2.
Perhaps the most unlikely win of the season for the Braves. They start off trailing in 2 batters, 2-0, back-to-back home runs. And this could be the turning point in the season for the Braves. They are climbing toward 500, climbing toward clinching that 4th spot in the playoffs. And what a game to win here against the Kettleers.
And Joran Judd Fabian, you called him the Kettleer killer, does it again. The bottom of the 8th inning, a solo shot that was a no-doubter is the difference in this game. How clutch was that home run?
Oh, it doesn't get any more clutch, perhaps, except for a walk-off home run, but that was pretty much a walk-off home run with how Kieran Shaw has been pitching. He's been just lights out on the mound. You talk about a home run on a 1-0 pitch, sitting fastball, and he killed it. I mean, now you talk about no doubters, and this one you knew was gone off the bat. He is the Kettleer killer. Now 3 out of his 4 home runs coming against this team, and he's the reason that the Braves have won their 2 games against the Kettleers this season.
Kieran Shaw picks up the save. Jared Poland will get the win tonight, and Judd Fabian The solo shot in the bottom of the 8th is the difference here at Doran Park. The Braves move to 12-16 on the year, make that a 2-game winning streak for the Bravos, beating Harwich last night and picking up a big win against the Cotuit Kettleers tonight. Tomorrow, we'll be at Red Wilson Field against the YD Red Sox. First pitch at 5 o'clock. We'll be on at 4:50. Catch before the Braves at 4:30, right before that game. But the Braves get the win 3-2. That's it from Doran Park. Judd Fabian will be coming on in just a little bit for a post-game interview. So hear from the player of the game in just a few moments. For Jordan Palacio, I'm Sam Wiederhalf saying have a great night, everybody. The Braves win it 3-2. Welcome back, fans. The Bourne Braves win this one 3-2 over the Cotuit Kettleers, thanks to this man right here, Judd Fabian, a solo shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. I want you to take me back to that at bat. You only saw 2 pitches, but you crushed that second pitch. What were you looking for?
They had thrown me a first pitch off speed, the 2 at bats before that. So I kind of went up there sitting off speed because they had done it twice. And he threw me a curveball first pitch, and it was in the dirt. So 1-0, I was looking. Normally pitchers don't go 1-0 off speed, and he happened to throw me a fastball middle up. So I like those pitches.
So my color partner, Jordan Palacio, called you the Kettleer Killer. That's your 3rd home run against the Kettleers. You think that fits?
I do like hitting off their pitching, so I guess it fits.
Now take me back. You hit that home run. You blasted to left field. You're rounding the bases. You come back to the dugout. Your team's pouring out of the dugout, and one of the biggest home runs that season. What's that feeling like?
It's an awesome feeling to help your team win a game. It's really an unreal feeling, and to do it against a team like Cotuit, who's very good, it makes it even more special.
You know, earlier this week you were named a Cape Cod Baseball League All-Star, one of the reserves for the West team. What does that mean? What kind of honor is that, playing in such a prestigious league and being named an All-Star?
It's truly an honor playing in this league with all the competition that there is. Being named an All-Star, it's truly humbling, and it's an honor.
All right, John, thanks for joining us. The Braves win it 3-2 thanks to this man's solo shot in the bottom of the 8th inning. We'll see you next time at YD tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Good night, everybody.